What's happening? What's happening? What's happening, everybody? How y'all feeling today? This is Coach Kai here, and you, of course, you know you're rocking with the best. Um, I am just waiting for a couple of people to come through today. I told you I was going to be starting early, so I don't know whether I'm going to play any music or I'm just getting my dry erase boards ready. So if you're just catching this right at the beginning, it's about 3 minutes till. So I wanted to see who the early birds were going to be who are in the room. And I see some people are already showing up. Hey, Lisa. Hey, Camus. Hey, Eve. What's up, Kimmy? Hey, Maria. Hey, Monique. Mickey. Tindaji. Chanel is in the building. Bianca is in the building. Jamila is in the building. Alexander the Great is in the building. Landscaping extraordinaire. D. Majewski is in the building. Edith is in the building. I know we got a lot of people going to be joining today, so I want to say thank you, thank you, thank you for everybody who is already up in here. Y'all know we're going to have some fun today, right? That's like me and how I want to do that. How I want to do this for you and for everybody else. Is that too much of a glare back there behind me? Let me cut one of these lights off. Yeah, that might have been a little much. All right. So early on, I'll probably say this again, but turn your telephones off because your time is valuable to me. My time is valuable to me. And I really want to make the most of this, but I do not want to keep you all day. I have a busy night. I got a busy week coming up. Y'all didn't tell me I was looking crazy. Okay, so I'm gonna need some help. Somebody in the room is gonna have to keep time, right? And say, you got a hair out of place. No, I'm just messing with you. Just keep time and, you know, let me know. We're gonna have 15 minutes or 20 minutes, maybe something like that, all right? But just one person I want to do that, okay? I also see that Chanel and Patrice have raised their hand. And when you hit the request button, that means I can bring you on. Now, during the webinar, I won't do that. But just to show you, you know, like maybe near the end when I get to taking questions, if you have a webcam, then I can bring you on. But originally, I won't be like taking people on to come into the webinar, right? So I did see that some people raised their hands. If they do pop in, I'm going to say hey, but then I'm probably going to ease you back into the audience. So it's 5 o'clock. So let's get this party started. Right, come on now. I like to have fun, and I like to give a lot of information out. I have one dry erase board, 2 dry erase boards, and behind me, another dry erase board, all right? So I'm gonna do my best to stick with my baby. My baby gets it done. But if I have to move around and you can't see something and it needs to be bigger, then I'm ready to move around. So take your phones and turn them on mute. Turn the ringer all the way down because people will keep hitting you, right? Somebody's steady texting me right now. Here's a text and it's time for me to get started. So turn your phones all the way down. You ain't got to turn it off. Next is close out all the other windows if you are on your computer. Do not be on Facebook. Do not have Skype going on or Instagram. Put your phone down, right? Because as much as I love to teach, I do not like when people ask me questions that were really, really, really simple and they didn't quite catch because they were doing something else. If this is an honest question, like you came late or something like that, that's cool. So those who came early, right? I said I was gonna have something for you. Let me do my shouts out again. I want to give everybody something. So what I want to give everybody today originally is I want to give everybody a meditation. Now, I am a meditator, and I also study astrology. So something I said I was going to give to everybody who is early is this download. All right. Now, if you click on this download, you will be able to receive a free meditation that I have on my website. And I feel that through meditation, I've gained so much more in my astrological studies because I can slow the mind. Because it's a lot of things going on this board. It's a lot of things going on here. And if you try to eat this whole elephant in one bite, it's going to be uncomfortable. So I'm giving everyone the free download. Just click the download and it should take you to a link. It's coming from WeTransfer. So let me look in the chat room and see, is anybody getting, let me know, somebody give me some feedback that you are seeing the link and that you clicked it and that you saw the link. Because I want you to just bookmark it. Just bookmark it. You don't have to download it now. It's 17 minutes long. It's high definition. 3 times a week. Start out 5 minutes a day. After 1 week, add 1 minute per day. In 2 weeks, you'll be at 12 minutes. All right? You have a 12-minute meditation that will be so much joy in your life. The next week, you add another minute. Every 7 days, you'll be at 19 minutes. So in 3 weeks, you could be meditating 20 minutes a day. Then you can do it twice a day. So in a month, you could be meditating 20 minutes a day, twice a day. All right? So I heard guidance. I see some guidance in there. Thank you very much. I'll be coming back to that. Thank you, Brandy. Thank you, Nadia. I always want to give shouts out. So let me do a quick shouts out. Big up Lisa, Kamul, Ev, Maria, Monique, Nikki, Tendaji, Bianca, Jamila, Alexander, of course, Dee, Edith, Amy, Tina, Shaya, Marsha, Rudy, Isis is in the building, Devin, Laura, Jessica, Vanette, DeMarco, Jasmine Jade is in the building, Cassie is in the building, Tanya, Natalie, Alexandra, Chanel, Mrs. B. Jones, Tanya, Alicia, Tracy, Quentin, Aliquay, William, Crystal, Hashia, Cheryl, Jamaica, Laura, Christine, Nadia, Rhoda, Converse, aka Huna, Kimmy, Magus, and April. Peace, and I acknowledge each one of you for being here. I got that gift for you, right? Now, I also have some astrological homework, but you got to stay to the end to get that. Well, some things I'm going to give you today, I got something else that I'm going to give you for free, but you got to wait till the end, so you can't leave. Now, please share this on your social media. So there should be a button down there for like you can share this on Facebook. We want everybody coming. I had almost like 400 people last time, so we can get more people in here today. But we got a little small intimate group right now, and I really like it. So if this is all that comes, but if everybody invites one person, look at the difference we can start making in other people's lives who want to study astrology. All right, so I want everybody to also write down keep 50, all capital letters. And I'm gonna tell you what that means. I'm giving you $50, but you gotta know how to use it. So write down the words keep 50, all capital letters, KEEP 50. Just write it down just like that. Keep 50. All right. And I'll show you what that means. I'll show you what that's about later. Okay. All right. Of course, my name's Coach Khayr. I've been doing astrology for a minute. And one of the reasons why you're here is because you want to learn astrology. The reason I'm here is because I feel that this science is much easier than a lot of people make it. A lot of the teachers are good at it and they can study it and they can like see things in the chart. But when you ask them to explain things, it just, it's too complicated, because I think a lot of astrologers like parrot what they have read out of a book and it's not their own personal feelings. So to learn astrology, you got to do astrology and live astrology. You got to be practicing in the streets. So this is how this workshop particularly came up. Somebody will say something to me. I say, "When's your birthday?" And they'll say such and such. I'm May the 9th. And they'll say, my sun's in Taurus and my moon is in Scorpio and my rising sign is Leo. And then I hit them with this question. So what does that mean? Because they don't know I'm an astrologer, a professional astrologer too, and I think I'm really good. Not because of just me, but just because I live this, right? And so for me, I already took the information and I'm processing it. Pow, 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 pow. But I want to know, if you told me that about you, do you know what it means, or are you fronting? Some of you know what fronting is. There's no future in fronting. Why don't you just know? So they say, I don't know. I say, well, who told you? I got a reading from someone. And I said, you walked away from that reading. They told you where your sun was at, your moon was at, and your rising sign, and you can't remember. If you walk away from your job with your paycheck, you know every dollar that's on there and what you got this week and how many taxes they took, how much FICA was taken, how much insurance was taken. And now you're going to tell me that something that you had before, your social security number, before your phone number, before your address, before your zip code, before all of that, before your debit card number, before your PIN number, which you think is so important, you already had some configuration, some numbers. And you're going to hear me quote Jay-Z a lot. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. You were born with a set of numbers. Here we go back to the board again. You were born with a set of numbers. And today we're going to talk about the sun sign. Sun on. Pow! We're going to talk about the sun sign. Oh, here it is. See this? We're going to talk about the sun today. We're going to talk about the moon today. And we're going to talk about these houses. So you'll notice that the sun, this moon sits in the third house. Well, what does that mean? If your moon is in Sagittarius, so if you look and you say, it says, I see moon in Sagittarius. But what does that mean? What does it mean that it's in Sagittarius? What does it mean? What does the moon mean by itself? What does Sagittarius mean? That's what we're going to go over and cover today. All right. The sun. Oh, what house is your sun in? What's that mean? There are 12 different divisions on the wheel. This is where I have to go to the market, because I don't want people to get too far like into that 3D board, like I don't have one. So everybody please draw a circle. Pow! You draw your sacred cross. This is where Jesus died at, on the cross. That's you in the middle. Pow! This is where it starts. This is your university. The course I did back in May, we went through the houses, the planets, and the signs. Some people said I went too fast. I came back and did 3 more classes on them individually. So if you email me at hello@coachkhayir.com, I will send you the link. Okay? I'll send everybody the link to the first one, and you'll get the replay for this one. But you need to, but specifically ask me. You get this replay automatically. But send me an email, hello@coachkhayir, and I will send you the link for the first one, where we covered planets, signs, and houses. 4 days, each one was like 2.5 hours, almost 3 hours, right? So this is your university, right? And that's you in the middle. So you can put a U in the middle, right? And then we're going to draw lines. So we already have a 12 to 6 and a 3 to 9. Draw a line from 1 to 7. Draw a line from 2 to 8. See, it's going to look like that. Wow. Then you're going to draw a line from 11 to 5. And then draw another line from 10 to 4. It's going to look like that. Now, these are called houses. Around here at Keep It Simple Astrology, I call them classrooms. So this whole circle is a university. You are the chancellor and the president, and these are the 12 classrooms that things are being taught in your university, right? Now, I have a course that goes deeper and is like much more detailed that I offer at keepitsimple.astrology.com. At the end of this, I'm going to give anybody who wants the opportunity to work with me further and go into learning their chart, learning their destiny, what things stand out. I read most of your questions in your polls when I asked, like, well, if you could ask an astrologer about, one question, what would it be? And some of you asked 3 questions, and I love that because I do that too. So, and a lot of you are going to need to go further. You want to learn aspects. What do the lines mean and all that? That's not this class, but I have a class for it. All right. So I'm going to give you as much information today about the sun moving through these houses in your natal chart and the moon in these houses and in the natal chart. You have to number them 1 through 12. So right between 9 o'clock, like where the 9 o'clock is at, you're going to put 1 and then go counterclockwise. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's going to look like this. Super simple. I tell people, can you count to 30? If you can count to 12, 30, and 360, and you can count to 360 by tens if you want to, you can do astrology. It's simple. I keep telling everybody it's simple. All right, so now let's talk about the sun for us, and the rising sign. So we got these 3 elements. Now I'm going to describe them like a car. So I guess I better I want to go to the big board this time, right? Is everybody following? Is everybody following thus far? Please put yes in the box if you are following. Okay, Christine says she's got a notebook ready. Hi, everyone. Thank you, Rudy, for being here. All right. I'm going to describe these 3 elements like a car. And if you can't see it, once I start drawing, then tell me, all right? So how do I want to draw this? I got you. Of course, we used to be in elementary school and we would draw a car like that. That's the car. There's the wheels. And I guess you got, this is a 4-door. And then you got windows. All right? So we got a car. Right. You don't have to draw it if you don't want to. When the car pulls up, this is what people see, right? People can see the car when you pull up. So the car is your rising sign. So the body of the car is your rising sign. That's what you look like to other people. All right? So I'm gonna slide the board up closer. Pow. All right. Keep myself in the picture a little bit. All right. The car is the rising sign. But guess what makes the car go? The engine. The engine is what makes the car go. And normally when you pull up in a car, can you see the motor? You can't see the motor, can you? Unless you're at the drag strip. But on a normal highway and you're riding on 85 or 40 or 10 or to 610 or wherever you're at, you can't see the motor in the car. The motor is the sun. And the body, all of this, the hood, outside, the trunk, everything that you can see on the outside, the external, especially your rims when you put some 20s on it, that's all rising sign. The grill, you don't have a Bentley, but you put a Bentley grill on the front of your Chrysler. It's all rising sign. But the motor, where the horsepower is at, that's the sun. All right? Now, where's the moon? The moon. Now, all of these make up who you are. So I don't want you to think because I'm saying one thing over the other. So a lot of you are saying, somebody said, tell me everything about a Virgo. I want to know everything about a Virgo. So you're only asking me to tell you about the engine. So that's one of the beliefs you have to let go of, is when you read the horoscope that you are only your sun sign. No, you see all this activity, you see all these planets, right? There's tons of, you got Mars, Neptune, Venus, Jupiter, North Node, South Node, Saturn, Pluto. Everybody's in here, Neptune. Everybody's in here makes up you. You're in here in the center, but all of this is you, all right? Okay. So when you only ask about, tell me everything about my sun sign of Virgo, you're leaving a lot of the change on the table, right? Big money. Where's the moon, though? Let's talk about the characteristics first. The moon represents your feelings. The sun represents your personality and power. And the rising sign is your projection to the world. It's what everybody else sees, all right? It's what everybody else sees. That's what your rising sign is. So the moon, though, the feelings, is almost like that kind of guides you. When you feel happy, you're ready to go right. When you're feeling sad, you want to go left. When you're feeling angry, you might want to just sit still. So I'm looking at the moon as the driver, because we follow our emotions. And remember what I told you. Sometimes when you get all up in your emotions, you're like, why am I so emotional? Right. Or where am I going? So sometimes some people are too much in their emotions, and some people are detached from their emotions. And some people just don't understand, like, how do I get control of it? Why is it always going certain ways? Now, your diet has something to do with it, of course, but the moon has phases. So the moon is more like a cab driver than a long distance truck driver. All right. So we got feelings for the moon. The rising sign is the self. That's the self-expressed. The great I am is the rising sign. I guess I got to tilt this down just a little bit. I'm just going to run it out to the side. And then the sun here is my creative center. Creativity and the horsepower. Okay, this is where the power comes from. And the sun is vitality. Write that down. Sun equals vitality. Sun equals vitality. So without the sun, there is no life. That's what it does. It gives us life and vitality. If you don't have it, somebody takes your motor and leaves you with the body of the car, you're done. All right. They left you with your identity, but hey, man, you took my heart. You know what I'm saying? You took my heart. Don't take my heart. All right. Golly, you took the heart and the identity. I hope that wasn't a bad joke for some people who are, who have had their car stolen in the past. So this is the basic setup. All right. So I'm going to erase that because I want to just write it out in the word form so everybody can see it. So I want you to write sun equals engine. I want you to write moon equals driver. And then I want you to, then I want you to write rising sign equals the body of the car, body of the vehicle. All right. I think I spelled that right. All right. This is the basic premise. Okay. So now, can I keep working on this board? I want to keep working on this board right here, if that's okay with everybody. This is the board that I want to keep working on this board right here because I'm already in the zone. So if that's okay with everybody, just let me know. I'll move in a second. All right. So I'm going to draw the house. Now, I like drawing things because when you draw things, you activate 10,000 engrams in the brain. When you type things out, it's only like 3,000 engrams that you're using in the brain. So I like to draw things, erase it, draw it over. Okay, I want you to keep drawing it over too. All right, so I'm going to draw the chart again. Boom, 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 boom. And we probably will draw a couple of these today. I'm absolutely sure. And I know one day in my future, when I'm rich like Russell Simmons, I'll be so happy to like have the diagrams flashing across the screen and all that. But today we all gonna work. All right. So then we're gonna come in number again. And you can find blank chart wheels too. You can just go on Google and just type in blank astrology wheel. And you can have, and then you just copy it, just print them out. But I'm giving you some of those too at the end for those who stay. Yeah. Oh, and I'm gonna pick somebody and I'm gonna do some mini readings on it too. All right. So it could be you. So don't go nowhere. All right. Okay. So now we have the houses numbered. Now we're gonna identify the houses. We're gonna identify the houses because that matters, right? So the first house is the house of I am. You can put this in there, or you can put it on the outside. I prefer you put it on the inside. Second house is, everything starts with I, so I'm just going to put the second word in there. Second house is have. I have. All right? I have. The third house is I think or I write or I talk. That's the third house. All right? The fourth house is I feel. Feelings are in the fourth house. Fifth house is I will. This is your willpower to do something. I will. The sixth house is I perfect. Same thing as I analyze. So if I tell it to you, you can write it down, but I want you to write down at least a minimum of what I wrote down. But I could give you 4 or 5 different words to go with the house. I serve, I perfect, I analyze. This is the house of health, but just start with perfect. Then the seventh house is I partner. I partner or I harmonize. And the eighth house is I desire. Or I want. I want or I desire. Also, I transform and I go deep. But I want you to start off with desire and wanting. All right? Cool. The ninth house is I see. And I teach. It's also international travel. But for right now, go with C and teaching. Okay? You can put jokes in there too. But that's the house of comedy and jokes. 10th house is I use or I utilize. I use or I utilize, and this is also the house of fame. Right. And I shouldn't even stop to do this, but even if you don't know what house it's in right now, don't worry about that. I'm gonna tie it all the way in together. Just follow and just keep taking notes. I already know somebody's got a question already, like, how do I know what house? Just relax. Get the basics. I'm gonna give you the basics first before I put you in the car to drive it. I'm gonna show you how a car looks and operates like an engineer. Then I'm gonna put you in the car, okay? The 11th house is I know. I know. This is also the house of dreams come true, evolution, things like that. Facebook is in that house. Social media is in that house. Networks is in that house. Fraternities and sororities are in that house. And then the 12th house is I believe. All right. This is the house of your secrets. This is the house of religions, fantasies, getting drunk, going to jail. This is your higher consciousness. Everything in here has two vibrations, a higher and a lower. It's up to you. It's up to you where you want to be in it, not me. I've seen the low of these. I like going towards the high though. I don't necessarily like doing the lows, right? Okay, so now when I bring my son in, how do I find out what house? No, I'm still not going to tell you that yet. If your son is in the first house, see, you know why I'm not going to tell you where you how to find that information? Some of you already know, but some of you don't. Because I want you to be able to teach this to a friend, show this to a friend, or I want you to be able to do this on your children. I want you to be able to do this with your future business partner or present business partner or girlfriend or boyfriend. I want this to be applicable in every way of your life. So when you get off of here, you have something that you can use, not just for yourself. Practice on yourself, but you know 10 people. You can be like, hey, when's your birthday? You take their son and start plotting it, all right? You got to have the time and things like that. But first off, just get the gist of it, okay? Just keep it simple first. So if I take the sun, which does what? Gives life and light. All right? That's what it does. If I take the sun and put it in the first house, this person is all about the self because the first house is the house of the self. This is also the rising sign. First house is also the rising sign. Who I am, what people see when I approach. All right? So that's the first house. So if I put the sun in the first house, without it being in there, it's already like seen already. But then if I put some life and light into it, this is the guy, this is the person who takes the hood off the car and puts the new hood on the car. So you can put like a carburetor that's popping up through the hood. So, you know, you got the hood like this and they riding around. You're seeing people that's got cars in the country, like race cars. They got the little thing on the front that is supposed to let more air induction come in and things like that. Or on the new Dodge Chargers, they have the little thing sitting up there. You know, there's more life there and there's more light, right? So it doesn't matter whether you're an Aries, Taurus, Scorpio, Sag, whatever. If your son's in the first house, this person is about the self. This person is a great initiator, but it does not mean that this person is selfish. I don't believe in the word selfish. I believe in the word greedy. You should be selfish when you put deodorant on, when you brush your teeth, when you take a bath, stuff like that. That's selfish. That's called self-care. Here you also will learn new definitions to words, right? All right. Is everybody following thus far? All right, appreciate it. The sun in the second house is I have. Ooh, please put some dollar signs in the second house. Everybody thinks they want to have their sun in the second house, right? Because now I got light and life on my money. On my money. Money, I want more. Yeah, you think you want more money. People who have the sun in the second house too can be hoarders. They can be obese people and be overweight because food is in the second house too, because you got to have money to buy food. And I have is a thing about possessions, not just money. So if you put the sun in the second house, is this person about their dollar bills? Absolutely. But do they have to also be wary of collections, their possessions? Do you have too much stuff? Like, are you driven to have things? This person in the first house, I'm driven to be who I am. In the second house, I'm driven to have things. Somebody may call you a butthole, or they may call you rude or something like that because you just always seem to be collecting. You know, they may call you selfish, but you're really greedy, right? Because you're just keeping stuff for yourself. All right. If I put the sun in the third house, I'm bringing life and light to thinking, talking, and writing and expressing myself. This is the house of your mental capacities. So if I have the sun in my third house, this person is talkative. This person has a quick mind. This person has the ability to be a good writer. You know. Now I want to pause here and say, just because you have a sun in the second house doesn't mean you're going to have money, because you got all these other planets that make up what else is happening too, and they all work together. But today I'm just talking about the sun and the moon and the rising sign. So don't think that just because I'm here I can write a book. If you see your son and your son's 1 year old and you say, oh, he's got the sun in the third house, he's going to be a great author, doesn't mean that. He may talk a lot, you know, or he may like to make short trips, because this is also the sun in the third house is the house of the cab driver. Then we got the fourth house is feelings, right? Feelings. Sun in the fourth house, this person is very sensitive. This person likes to be at home because the fourth house is your history and where you grew up. Fourth house, this person is a nurturer. You can put I nurture in here too. I nurture in the fourth house. I like that. All right. Now, this person could also like to be a recluse, because the fourth house is the natural home of Cancer, which is a crab. And when a crab feels that they're under attack, what do? Pull up into their shell. So the sun in the fourth house, that person can have all those characteristics. This person can also give till it hurts. I must take care of them. It's like it's like even a man, like you breastfeeding the community. Somebody's always taking from me. Okay. Now, you may have the sun somewhere else and have something else in the fourth house, and it may be feeling that same way, because the fourth house energy, it works on every planet. All right. But if the sun is in there, that's like your life. That's like you and how you move around. Like you could have the sun here. It could be if you're Scorpio here, that would be Libra on the third. That would put Virgo here. And that would put Leo rising. So that means if you had Scorpio here and Leo rising, your personality, your rising sign will be that of Leo, but this Scorpio down here, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio. But you would have these two tendencies going on at the same time. That's the other thing. You have to keep in mind the word simultaneous. So I'm just gonna put Leo for an example here, Scorpio. These things are happening simultaneously all the time at the same time. So earlier when somebody said, tell me everything about a Virgo, that's the same thing as me telling you everything about a Scorpio, everything about a Leo. It doesn't mean that's everything that you are, because you have other things going on at the same time. All right. Now, we'll move forward past the example. If I put the sun in the fifth house, this person, life and light to the will. Fifth house also the house of fun, creativity, children, and leadership. All right. Casual sex too. This love is in there. Love, fifth house. I associate the fifth house with love, but I definitely associate it with casual, friendly sex. You know, a whole nother webinar. Y'all just relax. Don't blank out on me. And but children, leadership, creativity, all of that is down here in the fifth house, right? This is the boss. That's the captain of the team. So if you have someone who has a sun in the fifth house, this person is always moving toward leadership. They walk into the room, their light is already shining. One, too, because the sun also rules the fifth house. So the sun is at home in the fifth, right? Now the sun in the sixth house, more life and light into I perfect. This person is a perfectionist. Even if they're a Capricorn or Aquarius or whatever, if your sun falls in the sixth house, you are like always, and you could be too critical. You need to relax, unless you're in some kind of analytical job. And as we finish with the first half, because the first half is all about you personally. Everything in this hemisphere, which is the northern hemisphere, is personal. All of this is personal. When we go past the sixth house and come through the next six, it's all social. So everything up here is social. Stay with me. Social, personal. First six houses is personal. Second six houses is social. When I go into the sun in the seventh house, look how I'm socializing with a partner. This is not the house of marriage. I don't care what they say in the books. I don't agree. It's fine. I don't look at it like that. I'll show you why in a second. So I bring my son, this person in the sun in the seventh house is all about being in relationships and being fair, because the seventh house is also the house of ma'at and justice. And so, you know, this person likes a good argument too, because that's logic and reason. The sun in the seventh house is an interesting mix, but it's relationships oriented first. They want to be in a relationship, and they're creative about how they go about it too, right? But check it out. If once again, if the person's sun, so that would be Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius. So if a person had a Aquarius in the seventh house, right? They have Leo on the rising sign. This is how they do things. This is what it looks like. But the engine is the Aquarius. They have an Aquarius engine, always coming from the relationship aspect, and the body of the car, the vehicle, is the Leo, the more leader, more willpower. You got me? All right. Now we have the sun moving in the eighth house. This person is a transformative cat, right? The eighth house is also the house of the occult. And the eighth house is also the house of sex, for those of you who don't like using the word out loud. If I got any children on the line, all right? But it's sex. But let's put this, let me just preview one of my future webinars. The definition for sex is healing and manifesting. Sex is for healing and manifesting. Write that down, okay? Sex is for healing and or manifesting. So you can manifest a transformation too. And that's what the eighth house is all about, transformation. If you put the sun in here, you are adding life and light to your desires, your sex appeal, your desire to go deep, and your desire to transform. That's the eighth house. If the sun is in the ninth house, this person is a teacher. My son's in the ninth house. You just love it. I had to get the webinar platform. I had to. I really can do one of these every week. I have so many things written down that I'm going to teach. And you'll see a lot of me too. So don't go anywhere. Thank you for signing up, and you will be seeing this. You will be seeing this later. So in the ninth house, this person is bringing life and light to teaching and how they see things. I'm also a visionary. And people with the sun in the ninth house, they're philosophers. They love traveling. Oh man, I think it's a wonderful thing. But hey, I'm partial, but I do live it all the time. So that's life and light. And this is also, they make good students too, because you can't be a good teacher unless you were a good student somewhere. Can I get an amen? Amen. All right. Sun in the 10th house, in the house of fame. This person gets a lot of attention. And they are a hard worker because they know how to use things and utilize. And the 10th house is the highest house on the chart. It's the biggest. Like, not biggest, but because it's not any bigger than anybody else, but this is what the public views you as. So this person could be famous or they could be infamous. They could do something that they'd be like, oh man, I wish nobody found out. And they got exposed out there in the public. This is good for rappers. Anybody who wants to be in the public eye, like that's your dream, put your sun in the 10th house. Or if you have the sun in the 10th house, there's no use to you trying to hide your shine, okay? And I hope somebody's listening and they find out they had the sun in the 10th. They've been trying to hide their shine. Useless, won't work. All right. Now, if I put the sun in the 11th house, this person loves reading because they have to know stuff. Ooh, this person here is a discoverer, adventurer. Don't tie me down. I got to go get it. I want to see it. And no, I don't believe anything you're telling me. I'm going to be inquisitive. Like the sixth house, this house over here, he's just very analytical. But this 11th house, I want to know. Don't ask me to believe nothing. You better give me some proof, right? And this man, I'm not even gonna keep going into this 11th house, man. But the sun is in the 11th house. This person, good with networks, you know, maybe kind of unpredictable in the things. Even if you're a Capricorn and you like kind of steady and moving like that, but if you got the sun in the 11th house, which would be Cap, Aquarius, which would be a Pisces rising. Whole nother story. That's a great combination. And then sun in the 12th house is this person likes to meditate. This person might like to drink alcohol, get high. This person is seeking enlightenment. Sometimes this person is easier for them to slip into enlightenment. But one thing about the 12th house, it's also the house of your undoing. And so it doesn't have a lot of discipline in it because it's a water house. So, you know, Pisces people, this is their natural house. You know, you have to stay on them to like stay on for them to stay on something. So, and a belief is fleeting. Remember, a belief is fleeting. So this is also the house of illusions and dreams. So if you have the sun in the 12th house, you also could be a dreamer or a daydreamer, or you could often like have an illusion about something and like get tricked out of something like some money or something, or not see the forest for the trees because you were at the low energy vibration of the 12th house. All right. Was that helpful for anyone in the room? Because I'm about to send y'all a poll real quick and see, was that helpful? Has anything that we went over so far, what is it? Yeah, please answer the poll. So far, has anything I've shared been helpful to you? All right, you only get one vote. All right, that goes for you too, Alexander. You only get one vote. All right, so while you all are filling that out, I want to talk about the moon, and it'll be a lot easier for me to go through the moon because we already know what the houses are and what how they feel and things like that, right? So the moon, I'm gonna leave that up there for the Leo and all that. So the moon, here comes the moon going through the first house, right? The moon in the first house means I am my feelings, because that's our key word is feelings. Feelings, magic, emotions, and my reflections. Because this moon reflects the sun. So we got our feelings, our magic, our emotions, and our reflections. So I am my reflections. I am my feelings. I am magic. I am emotional. And you can see it too. Because once again, this is the rising sign. This is the rising sign. And whatever is on here, we call it the rising sign. Let me just go into the rising sign real quick. The rising sign is my face. My face. Remember Eddie Murphy on Coming to America? And he said, indie face, indie face. That's what this is. This is all about in the face. Jamaica, I'm going to tell you how you're going to find out about which house your sun is. Stick with me though. Just stick with me. Because once I tell you that, you might just try to just be looking at everything in there. Essential haze. Good question. Save it. Because I can't answer that right now. Well, okay, I'll do it very quickly. Remember what I said. Don't look at this through a microscope. So you have been looking and saying, my sun is in Taurus, right? But it resides in the 8th house. So now I'm putting three things together. I'm putting What is the energy of Taurus about? See, you got to know your signs too. What is the energy of Taurus? So you would go Google astrology keyword Taurus and find out all the keywords about Taurus, which is still I have, and it's a possession sign. So you put the sun in the 8th house, so that's how you are going about it. Your desires, you're pursuing your desires and having sex like a Taurus. That's the short answer about that person. But that's not all that's about you, okay? That's not everything that's about you. So I don't want you just to think that just because I said that one thing, that doesn't make up all of who you are. You see what I'm saying? And you may go through your transformations like a Taurus. You may have a long road of transformations in front of you, but you are diligent and you won't quit. You're not going to stop, all right? No. And money may come and go. Sometimes you can work in partnerships. You get your own money. Other people want to work with you. And if you got a high sex drive, I could go on and on and on. It's all kinds of stuff with sun in the 8th and you a Taurus. Because I got to look at other stuff too, other aspects. I'm just, from giving you that microscopic view, I don't want you to think that that's all there is to it, because there's a lot. I'm just giving y'all pieces today, all right? Don't try to eat the whole elephant in one bite. But excellent, excellent question, all right? The moon symbol does look like a crescent moon. I'm glad somebody said that. So this is what the moon is shaped like. All right, now let's go through the house. Let me finish going through the houses with the moon. All right. The moon in the 2nd house is my feelings wrapped around my money and my possessions and the things that I have. I'm emotional about them. And I'm also very personal about my feelings. And this is also I want you to add value. I value. I don't know how you're going to put it in, but put I value in there as well to the 2nd house. So I value my emotions, and you better too. The person who's got the moon in the 2nd house, you better value their emotions, because they do. And they value other people's emotions, because you value in others what you value about yourself. All right. When the moon is in the 3rd house, this person tells you about their feelings. They're thinking about their feelings, and they may write about their feelings. Very simple. I think, talk, write about my feelings, about my magic, about my reflections. They'll think about it, get an ideal, and write it down. Now, this person right here is writing this stuff down. It's not going to stay long now. This person may be rather intuitive, but you better write it down. Don't think you're going to have the perfect memory, all right? Next is the moon in the 4th house. It's home in the 4th house. So this is, I feel my feelings. I nurture my feelings. This is like the moon at home. She's home in the 4th house. So she's just like, oh, yes. Oh, yes. And her magic is stronger there. She's much more nurturing there. She's kind of laid back. But let me tell you something about the moon. A moon is similar to me like a female pit bull with puppies. Don't mess with her puppies, because if she get angry, she can go Kali Ma on you. So don't think, the moon is the moon, because it doesn't have its own light. Don't think it's weak. All right. It does rule magic. You understand? And you always hear people talking about doing rituals with period blood and things like that. You know what? I want to be clear on this too. You hear people who are not serious about the craft talking about rituals with period blood. If you were serious about your craft, you wouldn't even be telling anybody that you were doing your rituals with period blood and how important it was. And you're stressing that like it's one of the, that you're not responsible. You're a non-responsible magi if you telling people about rituals with period blood and you're not giving them their basics first. Sorry, that's just my rant, everybody. Let's go back to the subject. Because I know I got some magi's and some alchemists over here. Listen, man, cut that out if you're doing that. If you ain't, don't worry about it. But if you ever go around somebody and the first thing I'm talking about some magic and some period blood, beat it. Get out of there. Don't hang around them. The moon in the 5th house. Boy, this person, their leadership is written on their emotions. This is like The Rock in the ring, like a wrestler. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like they're getting really, really pumped up, and that's what leads them. Their emotions lead them, because remember, this is the house of leadership. Leader. So their emotions are leading them in the fifth house, right? And they love children. Oh my goodness. Oh, they want to take care of children, because nurturing is the moon. Fifth house is children. I want to take care and nurture children. All right. No, 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 no. Jonathan, I'm not punishing them. No, no, no. It's all good. Y'all relax. So, moon in the sixth house. I love y'all. I want to say that, especially for those of you all who know me. Y'all writing things in the chat room. I see y'all. All right, I see y'all. Perfect. The moon. This person is like kind of not going. You're not going to like express your feelings, because you're always double checking to see are my feelings in order. This person, I don't know if I want my moon in my sixth house. I mean, mine is not, so I ain't got to worry about it. But this is also like how you deal. The moon too is also how you deal with your mother too, right? Because it represents the mother. The sun is the father. The moon is the mother. Guess we should put that down early too. Sun is the engine. Sun is the father. Moon is the driver. Moon is the mother. Remember how they say the man is the head, but the woman is the neck. That's right. That's right. That's right. You should always navigate using your feelings. You have to bring Mercury in, but that's not in this webinar. But the person who has the moon in the sixth house is always analyzing their feelings and breaking them down. And they may be analyzing their mother and looking at the relationship that they have with their mother, and far as how they serve their mother. This person may still be, I'm not gonna say they're still staying at home, but they may have an attachment to their mother, that and that they want to see them really strive and perfect. They're always analyzing the relationship with their mother. This person, if you have the moon in the fourth house, you still may stay at home, or it was late when you moved out. Or if you have a child that has the moon in the a moon in the fourth house, and you are a father, and you thinking you want this child to move out when they're 18, you might want to change and switch that. If you are a mother and you have a child, y'all gonna be together. Y'all always gonna have a connection. They're gonna buy the house next door or across the street. They're gonna go to school in town. They're gonna commute. They're not going to do no long distance. Forget about it. It's not happening. All right, unless it's other aspects, but that's just that little generalization. All right. Moon in the seventh house. My feelings and partnerships. Do I have to say anything? Somebody else should answer that one right there. Moon in partnerships. Oh my goodness. When this person gets into, slide over something. Let me get back into it. Let me get in there a little more. I want to get personal with y'all. A person with their moon in the seventh house is, they could stay in a relationship. They could go into relationships looking for emotional support. Depending on other aspects in the chart, they could go into relationships with aspirations of being supported emotionally from another partner, when they should have had all that taken care of themselves. Because if you have the moon in the seventh and you've been through a lot of relationships, what's going to happen if they haven't worked? You're going to be carrying a lot of relationship feelings and baggage with you. All right? Erykah Badu sung a song about y'all. Bag lady, get yourself straight. Now, if you're going into a relationship with someone and you look at their chart and you say, hey, this person has the moon in the seventh, time for an interview. I want to ask about prior relationships. Why aren't you dating someone now? And what happened before? I want to know what's your emotional stability or instability in a relationship. As soon as I see that in a chart, freeze, pause. What's up? That's me. Moon in the eighth house. Wow. Because the moon's a water planet and the eighth house is a water house. And it's the natural house of Scorpio. So moon in the eighth house is sexy. Like they have sex and emotions attached. They have desires and emotions attached. They have their feelings and transforming attached together. And This person with the moon in the eighth could have some grudge issues. All right. Yeah, they should let it go. But this person could have some grudges, and I would suggest they work on forgiveness, forgiving themselves and whoever the person was that they want to kill or murder. Because moon, because the eighth house is a murder house. They will kill you. It's, I mean, hey man, that's what death is, transformation. So somebody who I got my feelings over, I'm in my feelings about killing you. All right. So you got somebody who got their feelings in the eighth house and the sex is real good, and you're doing all this sex magic and you're producing and all this, yo, don't take them for granted and don't flip out and think it's always going to be something sweet and you can just get away with what you want to get away with because you laying down the good sex game too. Once that person gets cold and turns it off, it's game time. It's over. You're dead to them, as they say in the mafia. All right. Let me check my. Is there an ideal house for the moon? Jonathan asked a good question. Un momento. He said, "Is there an ideal?" There's no ideal anything for anybody. It's home in the fourth house. It depends on what the rest of the chart looks like. Once again, here we go again. This person has a stellium, well, their moon was in Scorpio, in the second house, right? Can you see that? Here's the moon. Oh, here's the moon, everybody. That's what it looks like in the second house. There's the second house. And you see the moon sitting directly in the second house, right? So this means the moon is in her pocket. So women will spend money with her if she plays it right, if she's aware of it. So there may be a lot of women who want to buy things from her or spend money with her, and she wasn't aware of it. But the technique she's got to apply it with is through Scorpio. It's got to be transformative money. People are coming to her looking for an experience to change, and they're going to give her money, right? So I can't say the ideal thing to do is know where your planets are. That's the real answer. If you know where your planets are, it's ideal for you. Ooh, that's right. Because guess who set this chart up? That's what I kept asking this person when we were reading the chart. She did. You picked the chart before you got here. She was born in 1974, I think. In 1973, she'd already decided what she needed down here. And she decided she wanted, look at all these planets in the first house. Look at that. You see that? It's like everybody's in there having a menage. She got 5 planets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. She got 5 planets in one house. You see that? She decided to have all that going on in there. And she also decided to put the moon there. Now, we don't have a memory of that. Doesn't mean it's not real. It just means that that's what we needed for this lifetime. And that's why I'm teaching this class, is because you need to know what house your sun is in, what house your moon is in, so you can start to navigate for the reason that you came down here. Is that making sense to anybody? Okay, I'm hoping that that is making sense. Okay, you need to navigate because your chart tells you why you came down here, how you got killed the last time or how you died the last time, what lessons you are to learn, all of that. And the sun is a teacher and the moon is a teacher. So the sun is teaching you about power and creativity and vitality and life and the God force. And the moon is teaching you about feelings and it's teaching you about magic and all these words, emotions and nurturing and reflections. So where is it? So you can learn the lesson. Because if you're not paying attention, you get to come back. That's why babies cry. Because now they're back and they're just like, oh man, what happened? How did I end up coming back to this BS? Because, and you got, why is this lesson so hard? Because you didn't learn it before. Nobody taught you. That's why I'm so passionate about this, because if you don't know, you can't grow. And then you'd be susceptible to somebody else just telling you anything. That's why I say learn how to read your own chart. I have 4 other astrologers that read my charts, and I'm always looking for another good one, right? Because I don't want to lean on my own understanding, but I also want to come home and do my own studying. You think I got that board over there so I can just sit it down and impress somebody? I have 2 of those. I got another one sitting right up there. I got an orange one and I got a blue one. Might get another one. Moving right along. Moon in the 9th house. This person teaches through their emotions. They could get emotional and see something. To keep it simple, they could have periods of joy and see something. They could be really, really angry and see something. This person could have, they could be funny from their emotions, right? They could travel to see their mother because the moon is the mother, and the 9th house is international travel, anything over 4 hours. So moon in the 9th house is, to me, because this person is a teacher, so they can also teach intuitively, because the moon is your instincts and your intuitive nature. So you can put intuitive in any one of these houses as well. If I put it in the 3rd house, I intuitively talk. I intuitively get money. I intuitively express who I am. I intuitively perfect. I feel what I desire. I intuitively attract the partner I desire. You can always put all these keywords in here. I could do another webinar on keywords. There's somebody out there better than me, but I'm not going to mention their names. If they want to do a webinar, then they can do one. But there's somebody who I know that's all they do is keywords. Man, they are smart too. And they really drive people to learn keywords. And they broke the mold for me on how important the keywords were. That's why you see a lot of keywords up here. That's why we keep it simple. Moon in the 10th house. Famous for your feelings. Famous for your emotions. Famous for your magic. Everybody's looking at your emotions. They see that first, almost like the car. To have your moon in the 10th house is very similar to having Cancer on the ascendant or moon in the 1st house. But everybody sees it up here. You may express it in the 1st house, but on the 10th house, this is the public view. Remember, it's the highest part on the chart, big 12 o'clock. So your emotions are up here for all to see, right? No use of you hiding it. You better get them under control, all right? Moon in the 11th house, you know your feelings, or you want to know your feelings, or you're studying so many things about the occult. You want all this information about magic. Ooh, excuse me. You want all this information about magic and nurturing and feelings and feminism. And you definitely are probably in some groups. You probably in some organizations like some girl power or all types of stuff. I'm not even going to start naming because I don't know who's watching. And then somebody be like, oh, why'd you pick me out? I'm not picking anybody out. I just know that you have feelings about the organizations that you're in. This is a person who becomes an Eastern Star and loves Eastern Stars. And then goes to Daughters of Isis and goes to the Rosicrucians. And she loves her sisters all the way to the top. This is a man who's an Omega Psi Phi or a Freemason in some other fraternity. Or he just in the Boy Scouts and he just loves being the Boy Scout troop leader. He's going to put a lot of his feelings into his networks. This the 11th house is also the house of networks. So you can put I network up there too. And then the moon in the 12th house. More psychics. Moon, to me, moon in the 8th and the 12th are really psychic. Moon in the 4th is a psychic. So I can't say, some people might not want to be psychic, Jonathan, so I can't say what's ideal. But if you got the moon in the 12th house, remember on the low end of this, the 12th house is your undoing. So your emotions could be your undoing. On the high end, your emotions could lead you to enlightenment. Yes. You really need to trust your intuition. Moon in the 12th house is scary if you don't have a teacher a master too, who can show you how to get a hold of your emotions. All right? You can start crying what it seems like to other people for nothing. Something that just happened, a secret or whatever that just came out, or something you just start crying is about, oh, why are they crying? Men too. And then you just try to cover it up. Then if you're a man and you think that it's not manly to cry, which is crazy, you could be covering that up. So you also feel strongly about your beliefs. This person could be a religious zealot. This person could be the Jehovah's Witness that you done told them everything about Jehovah's Witnesses to break it down for them and where it came from, and they don't care. They still rocking with it, and they ain't changing. This is that person that says Jesus was white, he got wings on his back, and he's gonna come back and he's gonna change the whole world out. He's gonna have holes in his hands. He's gonna have scars on his forehead, and he's gonna have long, sandy brown hair. And they believe that, and there ain't nothing you can do to change them. If you know a religious zealot, that's the lowest end. They probably got moon in the 12th. Now, on the high end, this person can sense you. This person is, now even if they're a religious zealot, they're still sensitive. But on the high end, this person is so sensitive. They may talk to dead people. They may hear spirits. They can tune in rather easily. Now, when you have these gifts like this is another reason I'm teaching this course. When you have a gift, get some training. You can look on this thing and say, ooh, I got the sun here and I got the moon here, so I know such and such and such and such. Yo, get some training. Let's look at the greats in sports. Walter Payton, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Hank Aaron. They all played professional sports, and they all got there because they had training. They had the natural, but it had to be refined. That's why you need to have some training. All right. Now, some of y'all have been with me for this whole hour. Guess what? I got something for you. I told you I had something for you. Is this I'm going through the chats, and I'm just gonna look and see what is anybody oh, the rising sign. Alicia Monet, can you please be a little more specific? What about the first house? You mean, what if the moon is in the first house? If the moon is in the, obviously I skipped it. Very good catch. Moon in the first house. I am my feelings. I am my emotions. I am magic, and I am my reflections. I am intuitive. You just put I am in front of one of these keywords, and that's it. Now, trust me, I'm giving you the, for brevity's sake, for the workshop, I mean for this webinar, I'm giving it to you like that, but it goes, you can go down the rabbit hole as far as you want. Sister Myra also taught me that, which shouts out to Sister Myra, as SISTARMYRAH, my mama, the oracle who put me up on this science. Well, she took me to another level. She wasn't who initiated me to it, but so many things what she has given me have just been jewels. But if you only do the moon and the sun in somebody's chart, you can have all the information you need. So when somebody walks up to me and they say, I got moon in Virgo, I got sun in Scorpio, and I'm such and such rising sign, I literally have all the information I need for a good week on this person. I can tell whether they're going through lying, whatever, I can see it. Because what did they told me? Remember the rising sign, they told me about who they are and how they appear and project. And some say, Sister Myra says, the rising sign is your higher self. Because we're not off, because it's instinctual. I want to put rising in here. So I hope everybody has I am in here. I'm going to erase that just so I can put rising. I want to talk about rising for a second before I give y'all this gift. Don't go nowhere. I got a gift. I'm about to give y'all something. Is anybody leaving? Don't leave. Okay. And if you just got here late, shame on you that you get the gift. Oh, but they didn't get the meditation, did they? Now you got to wait to the end before I give the meditation out plus the gift. I'm going to give the gift out because I want everybody to meditate. I'm sorry, back to this. I do rant. The rising sign is instinctual, but we don't always use it and communicate with it. We don't always ask our higher self for things, but it's on automatic anyway. Some people could see you and see the light over your crown chakra, and that's the rising sign. Have you talked to your rising sign yet? Do you know what your rising sign is? Whole nother course. You have to know your time of birth for your rising sign. I'm gonna answer this question now. If you don't know what time you were born and you want me to find out for you, go to coachkastrology.info, fill out the chart and say rising sign. In the comments, say, I don't know my time of birth, and then I will come and help you. I cannot explain it in this webinar. It's too much math and details, and you don't even have your basics. Okay, I'll just do it for you because you can find out. I can find out in like 5 minutes through like interviewing you, but I can't interview all the people that are on the webinar now if everybody doesn't have it. And a lot of you have the wrong rising sign. Boy, I know this opened a can of worms. But whatever time you have on the birth certificate right now, just use it. Just use that for practice sake, okay? And that what pops up on this line right here, this line, this horizon, this is the rising sign. Whatever is at 9 o'clock, this is the sign that was on the horizon when you were born, okay? So and it changes every 2 hours. So there are 12 different rising signs per day. So if your birthday is September the 11th, whoever's sending me this, September 11th, 1983, just wave your hand. If that's your birthday, everybody doesn't have the same rising sign. So you can't look and be like, oh, I know that person so well. No, there's 12 different characteristics born every day because the rising sign is your characteristics. So I'm giving out 12 different higher selves, all right? I got somebody else asked me, yes, is this the AC? Kimmy said, is the AC the rising sign? It's called the ascendant, ASCENDANT. Excellent question. It is the ascendant. Each house represents a classroom, and they have signs that are close to it. And if you have a question, make sure you hit the button that marks it a question, because I'm not going to see it. So Monique, I just came through there and saw a question mark, but that was the reason, all right? So please make sure you mark it as a question. Maceo said, how do I know what's my sun, moon sign, and rising sign? You're going to pull your chart up. We're about to answer that question. So let me answer that real quick. Somebody's going to be like, don't erase it, don't erase it. I'm just going to erase this corner right here for my own, just to write some notes down here, okay? You can pause it and go back and watch this later. I go to Astro, you can go to Alabe, ALABE. This pen sucks. You can go to Alabe, ALABE.com, or you can go to astro.com. These are the two that I use most. Cafe Astrology is okay. You can just go and type in free astrological chart, tropical, and put in your birthday, and they will give you a chart, okay? And they will tell you, you know, where's your sun and moon sign and what the rising is. So your sun sign is just like whatever's your birthday. That's like looking through the paper at the horoscope. Your moon sign, you're going to have to look at a chart, or if you know what ephemeris is, you're going to have to find it there. But I go to Alabe and I go to astro.com to pull up the chart, all right? And I'll show you all really quick how I do it before I come back to the next question, all right? So I'm going to open up and show you all this. I'm going to share my screen really, really quick. Nobody go anywhere because I still got that gift for y'all. Don't go anywhere. I guess I got to do it like that, right? So go here to astro.com, go to free charts. I'm already like, I already have charts. I already have a ton of stuff, right? I should have stayed signed out. Let me log out. So you go here, you go to free astrological charts, and you go to chart drawing and ascendants. Let me make the screen bigger. See right here? Chart drawing and ascendant. Click on that. Free chart for guest users. Click here to go to the data entry page. Click on that. Go up here, put your name, click on you, whoever that was earlier. I'm going to use you for an example. September the 11th, 1983. You stay in the United States. Now, it says birth town. I don't use this. I don't stay in my birth town. That's another topic. I use the town that I stay in currently. If you want to use it, you can, but you're not going to be getting what I call accurate information because you don't stay in that town. So I put in the town that I stay in. So I was born in Washington, D.C., but I stay in Atlanta, Georgia. I know my birth time is 2:44 p.m. Now, if you don't know, well, that's another subject. Then I hit continue. Bow. And it gave me my chart, okay? Now, I look at this line that separates 1 and 12, and it says AC. And I say, hey, well, what's this sign right here? I just look for the AC over here. AC, Sag. So this person has a Sag rising. Has Sag on the first house. I look at the sun in Virgo. You don't know what that sign is? You just go look over here for the sun, 18 degrees Virgo. And then I look at the numbers right here. Can I make this bigger? Look right here, you see the 9? And there's the sun. So I know I have the sun in the 9th house in Virgo. My moon is where? My moon is in, I go over here and look, moon, Scorpio. So let's say you don't know what these symbols are. You can just come out here and read on the side. Sun, Mercury, Venus, Mars, there's a symbol right beside it. This is why I don't want to just tell you everything about a Virgo, because look where you have these other planets at. You have your North Node over here in Gemini. You have Mars and Venus and Leo. You have Pluto and Libra. There's a lot of other information going on around here. I'm not going to just sit here and tell you, well, I'm not going to say that. That's all you want me to tell you. If you pay me, I will. But it's not like if you want a full chart from me, I'm not going to sit here and talk about that. We're going to talk about everything that I see, what these lines are, everything. Okay? Now, here's a label. On a label, this tells me the current sky. You go down here and it says my free birth chart. Click on my free birth chart. You don't even have to put a name in. I'll just leave it like that. I'll just put in another year. Whoops. 75. And let's say I'm going to use Atlanta, Georgia. Person stays here. Padal. And they were born at, 5 in the morning. 5:16 or 5:14. Hit submit. And there you have it. Now, no graph over here, Kair. How am I supposed to know? Keep scrolling down. Graph right here. And then it tells you everything. Rising sign is 6 degrees Sagittarius. Sun is 10 degrees Capricorn. Moon is 25 degrees Leo. But it doesn't tell you what house does it. That's why I'm educating you, because that matters. So I'm going to go up here and see. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Moon in the 9th house in Leo. I don't use this too much for rookies because it doesn't have any numbers. Well, over here, it kind of holds your hand. You got the numbers. You can't get lost. I use this for quick stuff. But if you want to use it and you want to come over here and say this, now I'm not teaching you all a hustle where you come over here and think that you can go offer somebody how to do their chart and you just go over here and read this right here. This is some good information. You and the entire generation are heavily involved in investigating and so on and so forth. It's good information, but it doesn't make you an astrologer because you found the chart and you can do it like this, okay? Let me see, do I have any questions thus far? Thank you, Marcelo. I think there was one other question. Are these psychic signs as well or just houses? You're going to have to repeat your question Essence Hayes, I don't know. Sun and the moon in the 12th house. D, you know, I can't answer individual questions right now. Can't answer individual questions. I'm showing you. You're gonna have to go look it up. Let me show you how to find it. So this person just asked me a question, right? Now, don't take this the wrong way, but I'm gonna have to crack the whip on you. This person, you go to Google and type in Sun in the 12th house. Let me show you. What we got? Sun in the 12th house and moon in the 12th house. So let's do it. Let's do it together. So I come over here and I type in Sun in the 12th. And you see it already populated. Sun in the 12th house. Look at there. 1, 2, 3, 4 articles you can read. You can click on this, open it up, Sun in the houses, scroll all the way down to the 12th. So I'm going to empower you and tell you like where to find the information. But in a webinar like this, I'm not getting ready to like start doing your chart and saying where that's at. So same thing with the moon. I will show you how to find it on this webinar. If you want to go deeper, then you can sign up for my course, or we can do an individual reading. Moon in the 12th house. Look at there. How many? 1.5 million results. How many was Sun in the 12th house? 38 million results. All right. So the information is out there and Google will give it to you. Now, Google will help you until you can do it yourself. So if you haven't gotten a reading from Coach Khayr yet, and you want to do it yourself, you can Google it. If you are already studying, that's great. There's lots of books you can buy, okay? But if you want me to tell you, you're going to have to book an appointment, all right? Thank you very much. Hope I answered that. And I hope I showed other people how you find this information. Keep going. Got some more questions. Which house is our purposes in the website? What do you mean purposes? Purposes? All of this has got one purpose. All of you came down here to do one thing as I get ready to give you all this gift. I thought I forgot, right? I didn't forget. I'm going to give you all something right here. You only got one purpose, and that's to grow. Everything on here that's your purpose in life. Everybody came to planet Earth for the same thing, to grow. All right? Now, here's a free workbook that I put together. I got it from a guy who he was offering something online. It was like a free, like learn how to do astrology for free. I guess he got tired of teaching people. And he just had these handouts. And then I came back about 2 years later and the website was gone. I even looked on the bottom of the handout that you're getting, and I've emailed him 3 or 4 times. I want to send him some money. He hasn't replied. I don't know what happened. I hope he didn't pass. I don't know. I can't find him on the internet. Nowhere. There's no signs of him, and I'm a good investigator. So this is another gift to you today for those who have stuck around to the end of, who are now still hanging out with Coach Khayr, and we have broken the 100 mark. I love each and every one of y'all. So please click it, bookmark it, and you can come back and get it later. It's going to be there until the 12th of July. So you have until the 12th of July to download that, okay? You have now until the 12th of July to download the meditation that I gave out at the beginning, and then I'm going to give out a little later because you should have been here at the beginning, but I'm giving out a free meditation too because I'm a meditator who does astrology. You see, that's me. And I want to share with you, and I want you to get more value from me than what money you spent with me. But guess what? You didn't spend any money today, so I've already given you how to find out what it means for your sun and moon to be in a house. Now, shortcut. You want to know where my moon's in Libra. Type in moon in Libra on Google and look at the first 4 articles. Wow. Do I have some shortcuts I could give you? Absolutely. But you have to know what your signs mean first. Do you know the qualities of Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces? Do you know them in order and what their keywords are? I explained that in the first webinar. Got to go back and catch that one. Now, I do go over that in detail in my, that's the next level. Like if you're taking this and you're like a medium level student and you're saying, yo, I'm cool right here. This is where I'm at. You done gave me a lot to chew on, a lot of homework. You good. Plus when you get, plus in that workbook, boy, you're going to see some stuff in there. You're gonna have some homework. There's gonna be some things that I didn't cover. But I do cover everything, not in that order though, in my class that I teach. Just a quick note about that. It's a 6-week course. And it just gives you all of your basics, man, so you can have power. All right. So it's amazing. It's simple, but it's work. All right. So that's Keep It Simple Astrology Course.info. And I'm about to give some of you an opportunity. If you want to take the course, remember I told you about the Keep 50? I got an offer for you. Just hold up. All right. So let me go back to my chat room. I want to see if there are any other questions before I move forward. Do I offer an in-depth course in astrology? I sure do. That was a good question right there. I do offer an in-depth course in astrology. Tracy says she'll be back in Moon Magic 28 real soon. You've always been on my dream team. Aww, Tracy. Aww, God. Moon Magic is another course that I teach. I deal with the moon and I deal with the sun. I deal with all the planets, but the moon is just really special to me. And for 5 years, I've been teaching the course, or probably going on 6 years now, about how you manifest and use the law of attraction with the moon. I'll show you a video on that later. So I have different ways that you can work with me. You can work with me in my manifestation program with Moon Magic. You can work with me in the in-depth course for astrology. It's recorded. It's already pre-recorded. And then you go through and watch it. And then if you have questions, I got a box at the bottom and you can just submit and just submit the question on there. You can do it on your phone. You can do it on your tablet. You can do it anywhere. You can do it on your computer, PC, laptop. As long as you got internet access, you can take the course. Moon Magic too. All right. Now, that's right, Tracy. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. We always talk about dream teams. So D said, what about, do I have, what did Hasia say? Appreciate it, Coach Kyrie. They're super simple. I have books on astrology and they still don't, because a book can't talk back. A book can't talk back to you. A book cannot talk back to you. So, I mean, they're good after you have a teacher. If you want to get this science, you're going to have to get a teacher. And a lot of people who are good at astrology can't teach. They're not, and they haven't been taught to teach. And that's why they don't have any students, because they haven't been taught how to teach. But they're like master astrologers, but they're not a master teacher. There's a difference. I know some master astrologers who are not master teachers. All right. So now, the in-depth course. So does everybody have the free workbook, or at least the have it bookmarked? Does everybody have that? Okay, Megan, on your definite chief aim, send me an email, because I'm not going to remember in here, so send me an email. But I did get it, though. I got you. I got you. I love it when my students come to the webinars to get bonus lessons, right? So I'm going to take this down, and then I have something else I want. I said I was going to let you all get the meditation. So here's the meditation for the free download. Please click on it and say, hey, this is bookmark it. Click on it and bookmark it. Hurry up, please. Click on it and bookmark it, because I gotta see what some of your experiences are in the room as well. All right. I got another poll I want to offer. We've already went over. So, would you recommend this course to somebody else? Please answer that quickly. Would you recommend this course to someone else? I have to get the feedback to see like how I did today. Okay. All righty. I'm bringing up another poll. Thank you so much. Even thank you for the maybes and the no's. It's all right. I appreciate definitely those who got something out of this. And if you would like to leave commentary, please send me an email on what I could do to improve my the courses for the future. How can I make it simpler? Next is I want to offer you all, I want to give you the Moon Magic 28 curriculum. So you'll see how my manifestation program works. I told you at the end I was going to give you some opportunities if some of you all wanted to work with Coach a little further. All right. So the first offer I want to know is this is for everybody. This is still free. This will just show you how the Moon Magic curriculum works. Please download it. All right. When you download or just bookmark it, because you'll know what it is when you come back to it. I also want to know, did anybody learn anything new yet? Please let me know if you learned anything new today that you did not already know. And if you didn't learn anything new today, then answer no. All right? So I'm just thinking that everybody has already gotten the free curriculum. If you haven't, just come back and watch the replay and you'll be able to get this again. And you can email me and say, send me the curriculum, or you can go to Moon Magic 28. You can go to Moon Magic. I want to post that. You can go to Moon Magic 28, www.moonmagic28.info. All right. Now, this thing is moving so fast, I'm trying to make it stick. All right. Moon Magic, I'm letting people, if you use the Keep 50 code, so now let me tell you about the Keep 50 code. If you want to come in and try Moon Magic for 1 month, you can just use the Keep 50. We start on the 8th, which is Wednesday. So if you want to join and try 1 month of Moon Magic, use the code KEEP50. I'm giving you $50. So normally every month it's $125. It's $75 for you to try 1 month. Now, normally it's a 6-month subscription and it's $100 per month. Some people say, I want to try it out. Some people say, I want to do it 1 month and then come back later when I need it again. That's a la carte. The reason that you are failing and you're not getting the results you want because you're not being consistent. That's just the facts. You have to have consistency. There are no shortcuts on the spiritual path anywhere. There weren't any for me. There weren't any for the masters I know and I study with. There are none for you. You have to be consistent. So Moon Magic on a subscription is a 6-month course. I have some people who've been with me for like 1.5 years. Right. And they got grandfathered in at their original price. That price is gone now. So now it's at $100. If you want to subscribe because you know this is something that you want to do, hey, pow, and stick around to the end because I'm going to show you the video explaining Moon Magic. But keep 50. You just use that code when you go there, sign up for the 1 month where it says $125, and then put the coupon in, and you'll be registered for next month. All right? And this coupon only lasts until the I think Saturday. So it only lasts 6 days because you have to start on time. All right. You'll be getting an email. Everything will be explained. So all you have to do is just take this piece right here. Let me give you another poll while I'm letting some people, please bookmark that. All right. I want to know how some of you all found out about this course. So please let me know. Instagram, Get Out the Box TV, Facebook, anything like that. All right. There's Moon Magic by itself. Then I also have, what if you want to do Moon Magic and you want to get a reading? I want to do Moon Magic and I want to get an astrology reading. Now my astrological readings are $175 by themselves. I'm going to give, because you came to the webinar, keep $50 because I normally do this for $200. Because that 125 and 175 is 300. Astrology reading is 175. Moon Magic is 125. That's 300. I normally sell it for 200. Now today only, and this offer is only good till Friday too. Well, no, I'm sorry, Saturday. It's 150 bucks. So you can come in and say, I'm gonna put in keep 50. Don't buy anything yet now because I got stuff for you. I know some of y'all like packages. Some of y'all just want one thing. Some of you want a package. This is also saying if you want a reading this month, you're gonna get Moon Magic included in there. I don't know why someone would pay me $175 if I have an offer for you can get both for $150. Okay, so you can get Moon Magic by itself for $75. You can get a reading and Moon Magic for $150. Simple. I mean, and we go in. We go all the way in. We do relationships. We go. I go through all the. I tell you what all the planets are. You don't have to come to Atlanta either because I do most of my people either on the telephone or on Google or on Skype. If you come to Atlanta, you come to my house. This is what we'll be using right here. I use this and I get to like pick up on your energy. So like we have a lot more fun. But you don't have to come. I have like 90% of probably 96% of my clients are like all over the world, UK, South Africa, South America, all over the United States. I haven't done anybody in Alaska yet. I don't know what's up with y'all in Alaska. I've done some people in Paris, and now I want some more people in Europe or wherever. But as long as there's internet access or you have phone access, we can make it happen. And Moon Magic is via email. Everything is recorded. You get an email. It tells you what we're going to do next. You just watch the video, correspond through email. I also have a conference call every Monday with my Moon Magic people. So now for that offer with the Keep 50, you get a full reading and you get a month of Moon Magic and you get to see or hear from Coach. You're going to hear from me 8 times because I'm going to send you 8 emails, but you're also going to hear from me every Monday when we meet on the call. All right? Email you got from me. A lot of people got an email from me. Somebody came in through the Facebook ad. I appreciate it. Somebody forwarded from a friend. Big shouts out to Get Out the Box TV. I definitely couldn't do this without Jason. I did my first webinar with him, and it was like super, 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 super fun. I also want to know what is y'all's experience today. I'm just getting all kind of answers from y'all today, right? Now, while you fill that out, I want to say, let me show you what else I got for you all today. Is what if you want to get the astrological course and Moon Magic, but you don't want to do you don't want the reading. You don't want the reading. Guess what I got for you? Because it's 125 and then it's 349. So it's 349 for the course and it's 125 for the Moon Magic. When you come in and put this in, you're going to get the 5-week course. I hope I have the right link in there. You're going to get the 5-week course. I'm on the 6-week course. It should say 6, excuse me. Can I fix that? I sure can. Uh. Ah, I gotta put another, oh, it's easy. Un momento, please. Make a quick adjustment. Anybody who gets the course today, you don't even need the coupon code for this one. Anybody who gets the full course for the 6-week course today, you do not need anything else. You will get Moon Magic 28 and the course for a bundle. Anybody that signs up today, this week up till Saturday, you get the 6-week astrology course plus 1 month of Moon Magic. So I'm throwing in Moon Magic if you get it today. All right. Now, so this will take you directly to the join the site page, right? And when you use the Keep 50 code, you get the course for $2.99. Instead of $3.49, you get it for $2.99 because you use Keep 50. So you can get a 6-week course of learning how to do astrology, 1 month of Moon Magic, all the emails, the conference calls, and whatever bonuses I give out, because I'm always giving out bonuses. I give out hypnotherapy tracks. I give books away. Like, I take you under my wing. Like, you rocking with me. You're VIP now. You broke bread, so I'm treating you like you broke bread. I respect people's money. I'm a Taurus. Got Moon in the 2nd house. I respect people's money. A lot of people, that's why business is personal. So I take it personal when somebody, is saying, yo, I want to employ your services, because somebody's going to ask you what happened when you had in your dealings with Coach Khayr. And I'm not going to let you go out there and be like, oh, nah, it wasn't the best dealings, so I could have done better somewhere else. I'm going to spoil you. Trust me. So you can get the whole course and Moon Magic, bam, for $2.99 if you get it before Saturday. All right. So bookmark that. Now, while you are on that page, you probably see something called the diamond set. The diamond set has everything in it. The diamond set is like Moon Magic, a reading, and the course. So the course already had it priced at like $600. Some people say I should be charging $1,000 for it. Even if it was a 5-week course, and like there's an average of 6 videos every week in just one lesson. When I do 1 week of lessons, you get like 6 videos. So if I say 6 times, I'm giving you 36 videos on astrology that you have lifetime access to. Let me say that. You have lifetime access to everything I'm giving you on the course, right? So if you sign up now, and then a year from now, I modify the course, you still have access to it. If I take the course and put it on thumb drive and say, this is what, and this is the new course, you get the thumb drive. I'll email you the whole course, because you can just send me and say, hey, this is where I signed up at. Let me get the new stuff. No problemo. I love it. You with me for life. I'm giving you this, all right? It's a lifetime. So I already got it priced to move at $349 because I don't have any planets in my 6th house, but that's a whole nother story. All right. So for $299, you get it for life. You only get 1 month, but now you're going to get the whole course for life. You're going to get Moon Magic for 1 month, and you're going to get a full reading from me. and everything that comes with that. That's $449. And that deal stays on the table as well until the 12th. Somebody told me I should have put it on there for like 72 hours or something like that. Some of y'all may have did it up too big yesterday. I'm gonna give you some time. But if you're not in by then, everything's gonna be a la carte, okay? So, do you get a discount if you have locks? Absolutely, 50 cents off, 50 cents, right? Yeah, but they have to be at least half as long as mine, okay? So your locks have to be up here, and then you can get 50 cents off, not per lock either, okay? Right, especially if you ugly. Men just are ugly to me. They're not attractive to me. I love women. How do I get the free download with the chart? What free download with the chart, Linda? What I have for that, the free download was the curriculum. That's the astrology curriculum. So that comes with the course. And if you get a reading and you say, I want that, I'll give it to you. It's not a problem. If you say, I want a reading, please give me that free homework that came with the course, I'll send it to you. Oh, all astrology readings are recorded. All astrology readings are recorded, okay? And so we record it, and then I send it to you afterwards. You will have homework from me too. So let's say you just want to get a reading, and we do the reading, you're going to have homework. You're going to take notes too. The average is anywhere from 13 to 23. The most notes somebody's ever taken from me doing a reading, somebody said was 24 pages. The lowest was like 12. But they had the recording, and they were writing shorthand. So you're going to need a notebook to take notes if you want to get the reading. All right. So if you want the diamond set, it's got everything in it for one price. And I would jump on it if I was you. But they said people like sets, so I offer them sets. I got to teach the course anyway. I got to do moon magic. But I'm teaching more astrology because I want people to be empowered. I don't mind coming and doing, I've been doing a lot of readings, man. I started this in 2001. I became a professional in 2008, and I've been reading strong ever since. Plus, I'm in the streets reading like every day. So if somebody's asking me, I'd be like, will you take the course, please? Please take the course so we can like discuss it. But I don't mind because I do have people who are inside the course who have gotten a reading in the moon magic as well. So I got all that a la carte for you, one price. All right. So if you did not get the homework for that, let me put that back out there. Okay. Let me look and see if anybody else has any questions. Oh, you're right. Right. Mine is weave. What about the 15-minute reading? So all of you who I owe a 15-minute reading to, you should have went to, first off, how do you qualify for the reading? It's too late to do it now. You had to have taken one of the Instagrams and put it on your timeline and tag me in it. Said Real Astrology was the tag, and then Aperture at Coach Khayr. It had to say Real Astrology at Coach Khayr. You could have said anything else in there you want. You know what? If you do it now and it's post hoc and I find it and I see it, I give you a 15-minute reading. You say, yo, I was at this webinar. If you do it now and say, if you share this on Facebook and you share an entire frame, I give you a 15-minute reading. But you have to come to Coach K Astrology and tell me. Like on Facebook, if you're not my friend, I'm not gonna know that you put it there. But on Instagram, you can tag me in the picture and then I'll know. But come to coachkastrology.info and just fill out your name and information and say, Coach, either, I put it on Instagram and I need my free 15-minute reading, or you can say, Coach, I need to get my time of birth, or I want to check to see if my time of birth is right. Okay, so who did put it on Instagram? So I know Eve put it on Instagram. Who else? Kamal, you're welcome. Converse, aka Honey. I don't know if I'm representing 336 or not. I don't know. I've been out of Greensboro almost 5 years, so I'm not in that. I still got the phone number, but yes, I appreciate it. Brandon, you did it wrong. Do it again. Essence Hayes, you said you reposted me on Facebook. Tag me in it so I can see it. Okay? Or take a screenshot and then put it in the box. I got to have some type of proof. All right? I'm not going to Facebook right now to look, but I will take your word for it. All right? Now, some people already left. It's almost been 2 hours, but I tried to give away a lot of value in some of the things that we covered. I wanted to make sure I talked to everybody and make sure I want to see also what's your astrological experience? I'm asking tons of questions, right? I should have put this right up at the beginning. I want to know what your experience is. I have some people who had their hand raised, and I guess they want to come on. If you have your hand raised, you have to have a webcam. So I'm going to accept you. So you have to turn your webcam on. I don't know if you have to have the plugins or anything like that, but I've already accepted one person, and if you can come on, and then we can have some commentary and some dialogue. I have to cut on my little speaker here, Bluetooth mode, because I want to make sure I can hear.
Full moon in Taurus at 14 degrees Taurus. Now, 14 degrees Taurus is right on. 1426 is on the degree of fame or notoriety. So this is also, whatever happens this week is going to be very big in the news.
What is that?
I said you already. What are you yelling at me for? Oh, come here.
Who's listening to Annie?
Didn't get enough.
Who's that listening to Ann?
No, I put it down. I'm sorry. Max ate it on you. So our job with this aspect is to really work and understand that Mars-Pluto conjunctions can be very good. If you have a Mars-Pluto aspect in your chart, it's a big week for you, okay? Because you're going to have a natal excitation, even if it's sextile. If you don't have one, great. You're just going to experience what everybody with Mars-Pluto aspects feels like all the time, and you're going to understand.
Wait a minute.
Very potent, very strong energy. It's also really good energy to push forward on things with. And to give a little weave-ho to the direction you want to head as we go forward. So the moon is in Aries. Way in the morning on November 3rd. It goes into Aries at 1:53 in the afternoon. And it's in Aries on Monday afternoon, Tuesday.
I was wondering, why is Ann playing right now? That's Annie Ortley. She's one of my favorite astrologers, and I was like, why is she, playing right now? But I guess I hit it. I did see some people, so please pardon that, but that was just an Apple thing. I hit play, and then it just started playing. I was like, where did she come from? So I see some of you have your hand raised. I have hit accept on one of you. I just have to see if it's going to let you come through. Can I put the meditation link back up? I sure can. I like that when people say, man, I want the meditation back. No problem. You want the meditation link back up? Now, those of you who had questions in the poll, in the survey, I want to do a reading for somebody too. I want to answer some of those questions. So some of you, I'm going to let you go, because class is over for this right here. But for those who want to stay late, I got the bonus. I said, you come early, you stay late, then I will answer your question. All right. Now we can do Q&A. All right. So I'm opening up for about 15, 20 minutes of Q&A. I do apologize for keeping some of y'all this long, but I have really had a lot of fun. Thank you all. If you stay, though, you might get some jewels from some other questions some other people may ask, and then I think I'm going to erase all this and put some other stuff in. I want to personally, what is that? Oh, yeah. I want to personally link up. I'm going to call you after I'm home. Okay. Aliens, poltergeists, absolutely. How do I tag you on Instagram? You have to be following me, or you just put the aperture, put the @ sign, and then put Coach Khayr. If you see me on Instagram, well, everybody wants that, right? Is that Rudy in the UK? Do I use binary beats and recommend them? Absolutely. I love them. Dr. Gibson uses them. I have some hypnotherapy that I give people to assist them with their moon magic. That's me. So I want the reading, me and everyone else, but especially me. Who's that? Chanel? Want to know why I procrastinate? Brandy. You can't put your name in there and like you don't hit the question button. People who are like putting the question button up, I'm seeing their stuff first. So if you have a question and you want to ask me, and it's got something to do with your birthday or something that you want to say, you have to hit the red button that goes beside it. Okay. Equal distance, placid, U.S., etc. Boy, that was a great question. I'm still trying to bring on, some of these people who said they wanted to come on, but maybe you don't have Google Plus. Let me go over and show y'all something about using the equal house system. All right, so remember we got here. Let me back out of this and go back. This is what I do. I go to free astrology, and instead of chart drawing ascendant, I use extended chart selection. This is what I teach in my course. So there's the name, there's the natal chart, and then I go here to house system and I click on equal. Pow. Then I always use true node, pow. See these over here? Leave them alone when you're just starting. You don't need to look at all that right now. Just leave it alone. You don't know your basics. Just leave all this stuff alone right now. Always use true node, equal house, natal chart wheel. Click here to show the chart. This is all I use. This is all I use is the equal house system. And I also use the equal sign system. So this person has Sag here at 21 degrees. I will move the wheel and put them back at Sag at 0 degrees. So you see how I went to 11? I'll start moving it backwards. I'll go to 1. Right there, I know that's probably like 112. 112 gives me 1 degree. So if I know I go to, what will 110 give me? So I go to, let's try 106. I know 106 is going to give me 0 degrees. Continue. Bam. Sag rising. Now I'm rolling. Equal house, equal sign. This is what I teach in the course. All of this other stuff, like watch what happens if I go to chart selection and I take it back to and I take it off of equal. And I just let it go back to the default. People got all kind of questions. Well, coach, what about this and what about that? And no, man, just make it equal. But I know it doesn't start here, it doesn't start there, it's just, I had to learn this way, and I wish somebody would have taught me equal house and equal sign from day one, but they didn't. So that's what I'm doing differently. I'm teaching equal house, equal sign, period, is my course. If you don't like it, you're gonna love it. I'm not even worried about it if you don't like it. When you see the benefits of this and the accuracy you're gonna have from using the equal house system, boy. Big shouts out to Cosmo Physics, Academy of Cosmo Physics. Excellent academy, man. I learned a lot and still learning a lot from them. Let me see who I got in the chat. Is anybody? Oh, here we go. I knew the questions were gonna come now. When's the best time for you to contact me personally during the reading done? Crystal, you fill it out, put your phone number in, I'm gonna contact you. So hopefully I'll be able to look at my phone. Look, I should be able to look at my phone, go into my email, go into my I should be able to go into my email and see that I have people. I only have one person that came in at 6:17 with a request. So nobody else has done it. So if you go to coachkastrology.info and put your information in and say 15-minute reading or rising sign, if some of you put the banner on your Facebook, I said I give you an extra 30 minutes. So you can get 45-minute reading from me by taking the banner from the email that I sent out to my people who came to my last course. You know, when you're down with the get down, I got bonuses. I give you a 30 minutes for the banner on your Facebook. You gotta leave it up all day though. You gotta leave it up for 24 hours. And then I'll give you another 15 minutes for posting it on Instagram. So you can get a free 45-minute reading from me just by posting it in your social network. Where you gonna beat that at? Right? Okay, so I still don't now some people are, if you got an email and you want to just reply to free webinar on astrology, or are you ready to learn some astrology today? If you already got an email from me and you want to just reply to that, that makes it easier, no problem. I'm with that program. If Eve had a question about cosmophysics, I see Shalasia is trying to get in. Come on in. Somebody asked a question, how do I listen to Somebody asked a question about how do you listen to Cosmophysics Radio. Go to Blog Talk Radio or go to Google and just type in Cosmophysics Radio. But there are no more new episodes. Like those 2 or 3 years that we did, amazing. Just go type in Cosmophysics Radio on Google and you'll find a ton of them. If you go to Blog Talk, it'll be much faster. If you go to Abundance Child, because all of them are on Abundance Child's network, you can get them off of there. They won't let me download to my mobile. How do I get the gifts later? You can come back and watch it later and see it. Shalasi, I can't see you, and you got noise in the background, but I see you trying to get in, though. Turn your camera on. Look up at the top of the page and hit the camera button. She's trying, ladies and gentlemen. It won't let me download on my mobile. How do I get the gifts later? Then you just come back when you get the replay, and then you can just hit the replay and forward it to this section, and then you'll be able to just click on it and you'll be able to get it then. Or you can send me an email and say, can I get the download for the meditation? Can I get the download? Send me the 3 downloads. That way I can just put them all in one email. Jessica says, will you be connecting us for our reading since we posted it, or do we need to get in contact with you? I think I answered that question. Chanel says, oh, Shia asked a good question. What does it mean if there are no planets in the house? That's also taught in the course, but I give you that answer since you asked. Where planets are is where you have teachers. Oh, I use this. So you see that these planets, there's a lot of teachers in here. They're teachers. But then if you keep going, there's nobody in here. If there's no planets in here, it's like an online course. You don't need to take this course again. It's over. You already got the lesson. You mastered that. All right. So when as you master that, then now you just have to do a review. So this is, they don't have any planets in their 4th house because that's the house that's ruling it. The 4th house is empty. The 5th house is empty too, even though it has Pluto. That's the transit, which should be out here, excuse me. So their 4th and 5th house, the green planets, by the way, are the natal planets, and the purples are the transits. So I could take all those out, but I'm not. Because that's how I do predictive astrology, is by looking at the transits. What does it mean if I have no planets? How will you be contacting us? Yes, but you have to let me know that you did what you said you were going to do. And if I see it on Instagram, I'll just reply and tell you the same thing, or I'll hit you on inbox. You got to tell me like what's the best time. But it's best if you start by giving me your information, so I will have a file. All right. What else we got? Any other questions? Once you learn your sun, moon, and rising sign, what they mean, who we are, what's the best way to apply and integrate it? That question is so good, and it's going to answer itself. You didn't know all these things about you. The best way to integrate it is to be honest about it and to look for opportunities to be that. When you know what your moon is in certain houses, you should say, you know what? I want to I want to do that. I want to be that which I studied and that which I discovered. The best way for you to integrate it is to be honest. Shalaisha, can you hear me? Because I can hear you. Hello, Shalaisha.
Hi.
Hi, how are you? Over there doing all that moving around.
I'm good. I didn't know I was like on like that. I thought I lost your show. This
No.
is Mira.
This is who?
Mira, Greensboro.
Okay, you just got so many names. And I also see...
I know. I just got a lot of emails.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt your show, though. I was just watching.
No, you hit the button, so it's all good. I appreciate you coming in today. And Tendaji, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, are you going to turn your camera on, or you just want to just talk like that?
I just wanted to talk.
Okay.
So you just mentioned something about that when there's no activity in the houses, that means that we pretty much have mastered those classrooms or whatnot.
Let me say this. If you show up to a classroom and a teacher is in there, you go into a high school, you're in high school, you walk up in there and the teacher's in there, what do you automatically know right there, immediately? This teacher's going to be asking me some questions and there's going to be some interaction, right?
Yes.
All right. Now, if you walk in there, you walk into a college class and no teacher's there, then what do?
You pretty much walk out.
No. I see what kind of student you were. You look on the, first off, you have to give the teacher 10 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Then you have to look on the board and see, did they leave you any instructions?
Okay.
So there may be instructions on this board that say, read page 20 to 45 and leave me a 2-page report on my desk and you're free to go.
Okay.
And then you're done for the semester.
Huh.
So houses that don't have any planets in means there's no teacher there, but you still have to take the course because there's a sign that's ruling it. There's still an energy in the classroom, so it's still on your schedule. You have to take it. So let's say, I'm sorry, go ahead.
So when you said a sign that's ruling it, because when I look at my chart, like I have houses that are just completely empty.
That's what you just asked me. That means, yes, but they're still ruled by a sign, not the sun.
Oh, okay, got you, understood, okay.
S-I-G-N. So what sign rules one of those houses? Just give me one of them.
Oh, well, I have to. I don't even have my chart out with me, but I know everything is concentrated on.
When's your birthday? Hold on, we'll just do yours real quick. When's your birthday?
12/30/82.
Hold on, let me share the screen so people can see what I'm doing. Can you see your screen?
I can't see the screen that you're doing. Now I can see it.
So 12/30/82.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna just pretend you stay in Atlanta, and that's the time. And I'm looking, and so I say, oh, so she doesn't have any planets in the 12th house, 11th house, 2nd house, none in the 4th, none in the 5th, none in the 6th. But I see that the 11th house is ruled by Aquarius. So this mean you have to write an Aquarius paper for this house. The 12th house is ruled by Pisces. So what you do is look up Pisces rules the 12th. Wherever this line falls at right here, that's what wherever the line falls, that's the sign that rules that house. So this is the line 12. The line above the number is the beginning of the house. So this line falls in Pisces. So you would just Google Pisces rules the 12th house, which is a natural chart. If this was the right time, we haven't. I didn't take a time. I'm just using this for an example. So, but I would look over here and I'll say, "Ooh, good googly moo, stellium. Look at this action. So we got Venus, Sun, and Mercury, all in one house. So that means I got one teacher, two teachers, three teachers. So here's the Sun in the 9th house. So we talked about that today. What does that mean, Sun in the 9th house? What's that mean?
In the 9th house, it would mean I see or teach.
Right. And so, but you also have Venus in there, and you have Neptune. Now, I'm not saying you do for real, but I'm just saying in this example, you have two other planets in there. So you would also look at Neptune in the 9th house. What are the characteristics of Neptune? What are the characteristics of Venus? And you would say those are in the 9th house as well. You see what I'm saying with this so far?
Yes.
Now, the reason I would move this to an equal house because I want all the planets in the same sign. So I would have Mercury, Venus, and the Moon in the 10th house because I would just spin this forward. They would all be in the 10th house, and Neptune, Uranus, and Jupiter would all be in Sag in the 9th house. That's why this stuff starts to get confusing here because I have 3 planets in the same sign, but they're in a different house. And then you start asking me questions. Well, Coach, what about? No, don't. We avoid that confusion first, and we come to the confusion later on in life, not earlier on in life. We need to get smart first, then deal with confusion.
Yeah.
Don't deal with confusion while you still don't know nothing. Can I get an amen on that? I can't get an amen?
Oh, Ashe.
Okay. It ain't going to hurt you. Jesus ain't going to, your black ancestors ain't going to hurt you. Your African ancestors ain't going to hurt you because you said amen. Your grandma,
I don't think that. Those are just my agreements. That's all, Coach.
I was just looking for an amen, though. I ain't asked for Ashe, but I know what you're talking about. Women have to learn when somebody asks you for something. Like you asked me a question, I gave you what you asked me for. I didn't tell you about something else, did I? Can I get an amen?
Are you reading me now, Coach?
Can I get an amen?
Amen, since you need that.
Right. I gave you what you needed, right? Right. That's the law of compensation. That's the law. That's equality. Somebody can give you what they want, what you ask, and then you keep on going like that. Okay.
That.
Did you how did you enjoy the course today?
I definitely enjoyed it. I felt like your analogies were very on point, very simplistic. I like the whole car engine concepts with the sun and the moon and the rising. Definitely sealed a little bit more clarity. I would say I was familiar with that before. However, I really liked how you explained it, so that was good. I'm looking forward to actually learning a little bit more about your other courses based off of how you presented this information, because how you teach definitely resonates with what connects for me.
Yay! You're the person I'm looking for. Like, I'm not looking for everybody in the world. What you just said let me know that I invested my money wisely in this technology. I showed up for you and the people who still hanging around, you after party goers. You people are like, yeah, I like it. What else you got? Like you're the person I came for. So I definitely want to appreciate you. How do I pronounce your name? Because I don't want to butcher it up.
Tendaji.
Tendaji. Okay, and how'd you hear about the course today?
Facebook.
Yay, so are we friends or somebody sent it to you or what?
We should be friends. I do believe that I believe I was suggested to you before by a brother, one of my mentors, Terrence Miller. I think you gave him some reading, and if you were the brother that really incited him to how important nodes are,
Oh, Lord.
um,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, so like he was just like, listen, I've never gotten a thorough reading from anybody ever before. And he sent me to you, and he was just like, yeah, he deals with the nodes, and he really goes in. So I was like, I gotta see what this guy's about, and I've been following you ever since. And so when this course came up, I just signed up, and I wanted to kind of dive in a little bit more.
Yay! Big shouts out to T Real. Tell T Real that I love him. I have another poll, everybody. For those who are still here, have you ever had a reading from an astrologer and later was lost when you were by yourself? That's probably the number. I should have asked that question first. Was like that's one of the reasons why I did this. So Tendaji, hold on for a second. Let me answer a couple other questions inside the inside the inside the chat real quick. And then if you have something else after I finish with them, I'll take another question from you. Okay, is that fair?
Absolutely.
Mira says, how off can you be on your birth time and still get an accurate result? You can't get an accurate result. You can only get 66.6% if you have the wrong birth time. Let me repeat. You can only get 66.6% accuracy if you have the wrong birth time. I'm about to vent. Everybody, if you don't want to hear it, put your hands in. When you go to an astrologer, you have to slap my hand down. When you go to an astrologer and the astrologer tells you, and they say, what time were you born? And you say, I don't know. And then they tell you, it doesn't matter. Get your money. Get your money. Get your stuff. Get your phone. Grab your Bluetooth and get out. Listen, if they tell you it doesn't matter, there's no way you can get accurate information if they don't have a technique. If they study cosmophysics, they should have a technique, or they should either be able to put your sun on the ascendant if you're a man, or put your moon on the ascendant if you're a woman. I can put your moon on the ascendant and read you for a woman, and I don't need to know your birth time. I can take your sun if you're a man and put you on the ascendant, and I don't need to know your birth time. But for somebody who everybody almost going to put 12 o'clock, you're a charlatan. And if you're not a charlatan, you're a lazy astrologer. That person, and if you want someone to do your chart who's lazy, guess what? You get what you pay for. You get what you pay for. So if it was a $50 reading, you should give them $50 because they're going to give you 60% accuracy, right? But they shouldn't tell you that it doesn't matter, because you cannot do predictive astrology without the time, or unless you have another technique. Or unless you study Magi astrology. If it's somebody like if you with somebody like it's in Magi astrology, that's a different story because they don't even use the rising sign. But you have to have that, yo. You have to have that if you're using this right here. They ask for it in the Vedic, they ask for it in the Eastern, they ask for it in the tropical, they ask for it in the sidereal. What do you think they're asking for it for? Hope said men lie, women lie, numbers don't. They're asking for a reason. Now, I want to say this, because a lot of people ask me about the time on the birth chart. Here's you in the belly. Here's my fault. Here's you in the belly, right before birth, right? The water broke back here. You see that? The water broke back here. And this is where you came out the womb, right here. All right? In between this period could be up to 12 hours, 24 hours, 36 hours, 2 hours. This is what it's called in labor. Women who've had children, men who were there with their wife, this is how long you could have been in labor. But the baby could have been breathing any time from the time your water broke but to the time they came out the vagina. So this should not be called birth time. It should not. It should be called vaginal, write this down, entry into the world. That's the time on your birth certificate. That's not the time when you started breathing, because The soul enters the body on the first breath. I'm gonna say this: ask any doula or midwife, can a baby be breathing before they come out? If your baby came out crying, he or she had to have oxygen in their lungs. So where they get the oxygen from if they weren't already breathing before they came out? They were already breathing. The soul already inhabited the body. Now I'm going into some esoteric stuff, but it's still real. Because where were you before you got here? Before she got pregnant, where you were in the ethers, you had to send the body down first, then the soul came in through the breath. I could do another webinar on miscarriages. Don't feel bad about a miscarriage. This may sound cold, but don't feel bad about a miscarriage. They changed their mind. Somebody reneged on the contract. There's 3 in the contract. There's the father, the mother, and there's the child. Anybody can change their mind at any time. So if it's a miscarriage, it may have been something in your chart, but it also could have been somebody reneged on the contract and says, I'm not going to do what I said I was going to do, and the child changed their mind and go back. But because before you hit this line coming through the vagina, you have all knowledge. You're tapped into the infinite. So you start, the birth time that I calculate for most people is earlier than this time that they have on the birth certificate. And 90% of the people I read have the wrong time on the birth certificate. 90%. All right? I've seen people 12 hours off. I had somebody for 20 years, they were thinking they were a Libra rising. We corrected the chart. She's a Scorpio rising. She was like an hour and a half off. She called me the next day and said, I've been up for 24 hours. I said, why? She says, because I've been researching Scorpio rising and it's me. She says, Libra never fit me. I tried to fit into Libra and it never fit. Now she's a Scorpio rising and she knows for a fact and she's free. That's why you got to learn this science, because you got to learn all the aspects before you can even say, well, coach, teach me how to get the right time. Psst, forget about it. You ain't got the basics, don't ask me for nothing.
Can I ask a question now?
Oh, yeah, you can ask me a question.
Okay. I didn't want to do the, well, I didn't do the chart today because I couldn't find my birth certificate. I'm not sure if it's 315 or 318. So, like, it's like 3 minutes off, but, like, that's the difference. But that being said, when I do have my birth certificate, you saying that's not the time to use, right? So I should go back a few minutes from there?
No, you don't know how to go back a few minutes from there. So what I said was, if you have a time on the birth certificate, use that.
Okay.
And if you go to another astrologer who's not a cosmophysician or who doesn't study cosmophysics or who doesn't know the 8th place method, just give them that time that you know. But from 3:15 to 3:18 is 3 minutes. That's not going to make a big deal. It's when we start getting into hours that makes a big deal. So when somebody says, I don't know if it was 4:20 or if it was 4:35, if both of those are AM or both of those are PM,
okay. Yeah, that's what I just wasn't sure, like, how precise it was. Like, could I still work up my chart if I was a couple of minutes off?
Yeah. But here's what I'm saying. If all else fail, you can just move the moon to the ascendant because you're a female. You just move the moon to ascendant and read, and you'll just be like, oh, because you really have more than one chart. I shouldn't even be talking like this because this ain't basic. Listen, if you're listening now, we're gonna move to another realm. This ain't basics no more. I'm talking about you got more than one chart. You got your solar chart, you got your natal chart. You really got about 15 charts, but we ain't getting into that right now. It just depends on what I want to look for. Like, let's say I got a quick psychological thing I want to look for somebody. I know what to look for. Let's say if I want to know where your money is at, I know what to look for. I can turn the whole chart and make it a money chart. If I want to look at the whole chart to see how you do the relationships, I can move into relationships. It's all about spinning the wheel. But if you don't know the basics, like if you don't know your scales on the trumpet, you'll never be able to play with the orchestra. All right? So did I answer your question?
Yes. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Next question was, how do you look at your chart and see what's going on currently by day, week, and month? You have to take the course. That's called transits. That's the short answer to that. And if you sign up and take the course, all that's in there. But yeah, you look at the transiting planets. Next is What is that? Into Kabbalistic astrology. Your thoughts? Kabbalistic astrology is just the science of the nodes. It's the north and the south nodes, and I love it. I start all my readings with quote unquote Kabbalistic astrology, which is the north and south nodes. I do that before I even get to anything else. Big shouts out to Jan Spiller. I don't do nothing else until I finish the north nodes, because Kabbalistic astrology shows you your destiny and your past, but it doesn't give you like the teachers though. It doesn't include the planets. So if you're just studying that, you ain't studying nothing else, you're still kind of like, you got the basics, but you don't have like the rest of it. Okay, you got to have the rest of it. I live in Atlanta. Do you hold meetings or masterminding in person? One-on-one I do, because the town of Atlanta, my personal opinion is, people don't really want to study. Like, if you want to study, like, show me that you want to study and say, I want to get a session. Somebody who wants to who books a session, that's my friend. Instead of somebody just want to come around the house and just be like, let's just kick it or something like that. If somebody organizes it, I'll go there and teach. I wouldn't care. But I can't organize it because I have a lot of other things going on, and the webinar is a lot easier. But if you live in Atlanta, if you want to get up and let's build, then just let me know and we'll work something out. How often can you build your birth time and still get it accurate? We already did that one. Why do people think astrology is a cult or witchcraft? I just want to hear your feedback from it. It's something I have heard over the years and it's disturbing. Also, does astrology conflict any religious beliefs? Can I start with the end first? Yeah, the second one's going to mold back into the first one. I don't even think I'm going to need this board. Let me move back into the, I want to get back over here where I can see now. I mean, not where I can see, but, oh, I want to get back in front of the computer. So look, the Bible is the greatest zodiac book ever written. The chart has Jesus in the middle. I shouldn't have moved. I should have just stayed here. Watch this. We drew the circle. Here, there's the cross. There goes Jesus. He said he died. There's the cross. He died for your sins. Guess what, though? You put it in a circle. They say he's the rising sun, right? That's what we're talking about, the horizon. He's rising. We know that Jesus ain't nobody but what? Horus rising. He's the rising sun. That's all it means. That's it. And then he had how many disciples? He had 12 disciples, which was only the representation of the 12 houses of the zodiac. There it is. Christ consciousness is putting. I just taught all of you all Christ consciousness without seeing Christ consciousness. Astrology is Christ consciousness, letting the God in you wake up by knowing all your dynamics. That's it. Okay. When they talked about evenly yoked in the Bible, they were talking about astrology. No, it does not conflict with any astrological. Now, why do some people say that it conflicts with it? Because they are religious zealots and it's in their chart that they want to believe something and they don't want science. And they have earned the right to just chill this lifetime. If they don't want to do no work and they want to just go off of belief and they want to be up under the spell, man, leave them people alone, man. Stop trying to convince somebody that they're wrong or they have to see something your way. I wasted so much time doing that. And now I'm just like, man, be gone, be gone, be gone, be gone, be gone. I don't even deal with that no more. All right, so why do astrology as a cult? The people who say it's a cult or it's a witchcraft, they're one or two people. They're either religious or they're really lazy. Because not even the scientists say that astrology is witchcraft or the occult. Now I want to say this. You know what? They call astrology occult sciences because it makes your magic stronger. Astrology makes your magic stronger. I know the best days to do rituals. I know the best days not to do rituals. I know the best day to ask for money. I calculated the day of doing this webinar by my astrological chart. The success that I've had probably since 2011, since I've really been like paying attention to my astrology, is bananas. Yes. Oh, brush my shoulders off. And if somebody wants to say, hey, he he's a witch, or he's a this, or he's a that, man, no problem. They can call me. Sticks and stones will break my bones, but words will never hurt me. And they don't know magic, so they can't even put a curse on me. You understand? And then you rock, and then once you learn the magic, and then you get popped off right, you know what talismans to wear to make sure you keep them off of you. Man, it's all good. That's all. Man, those people are asleep. Let them rest. You can't wake up people who are asleep. Vanessa, how can I get on to speak to you? I invite you as a speaker, so you gotta like hit the button, but I just sent you something, so you just have to just click on it and accept it. Does the chart change each month? Good question. The natal chart does not change. The transiting chart does. So the green planets on here will stay the same. That's her natal chart. But the purple chart, the purple planets will move. So we see the sun in Cancer. I don't know, the other day, sun was in Cancer at, I love this app I have on my phone. Like I just snatch it up, like I can see what's going on with today's weather. So today the moon's at 5 degrees Pisces. Bam. So the moon, the last time when I was looking at this chart last week, the moon was over here. So now the moon is already over here at 5 degrees Pisces. The moon is also the fastest moving planet. Yes, takes 28 days to go all the way around. Takes the sun 365 days to go all the way around. So the moon laps the sun 13 times before the sun makes one lap, right? Does the chart change each month? So your natal chart does not change. Now, when you're dealing with a progress chart, yes, because the word progress means to move. So yes, the progress chart. In the progress chart, only like you're going to get the moon and Mercury, you'll get the faster planets changing every day. But that's for transiting and progress. But for your natal, it stays the same. Excellent question. Kim said, get the hell out of here. They don't need it. So far, Alicia Monet says, how can I find out my true birth time? Go to CoachKAstrology.info, put it in there and say, I want to know what my birth time is. And put your phone number and put the best time to contact you, and we'll do it. I can't teach you the technique in 10 minutes or 2 hours, and you don't have your basics. Any of you who study cosmophysics, seriously or lazily, you already understand you can't get that technique unless you already have your basics down really, really solid. I don't even teach it to people who don't have their chart memorized. You can't memorize your chart, I'm not going to teach you that. The guy who taught me didn't give it to me. Like, no way. Marcelo says, so how far you go back from the time on your birth certificate? I don't know. Use that time. If you have a birth certificate time, use that. Don't go back any. Don't go back one drop. If you're working by yourself, and you're not working with me, or you're not working with somebody who knows that science, just use what you got. That's it. You can't, Alicia Monet, you can't find the time that you kind of like looking for, like it's not on the birth certificate. She says she aspires to get on my level. Hey man, that's big right there. I want you to go past where I'm at, right? Because I've been accused of being lazy in my studies. Sometimes I might be, because I get on one thing and I want to be on that right there. and I don't move as fast as somebody else who maybe is a little more advanced as me. I try to be thorough. I plod. I move like a Taurus, but I investigate like a Virgo. So I move like what's in my chart. No, my webinar start at 5 o'clock on Sundays. What's the app called? This app is called AstroTab. AstroTab Free. AstroTab Free is the app. I love it. It gives me everything but the North Node. So if you're into Kabbalistic astrology, it won't give you the North Node, but it gives you delineations. It gives you conjunctions. It gives you transits. It can do symmetry charts. It can do composite charts. Like, that joker is nasty. I love it. Alicia Monet, I answered your question. William, I answered your question.
I have a question.
Okay, yes.
When what you were saying before is if someone knows their nodes, I'm familiar with Spiller too, really awesome books. But if someone knows their nodes, their sun and their moon, how would you say that piece of information, understanding like, okay, I don't know my time, but if they're able to get that piece of information, how much do you think of a reading can be kind of derived from those foundations?
You ever been on a job where you work 40 hours a week and you get a paycheck for how many hours you work?
Mm-hmm.
And 1 week your check is short. You didn't get no check. You just didn't get all they owed you. So let's say they owed you $800 and they gave you $550. You pissed,
Mm-hmm.
ain't you? Aren't you pissed because you still owe me some more money, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't give you. You didn't leave out of there with anything. You still got $550.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So $550 is better than nothing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they didn't come back and tell you, like, they didn't say we're not going to give you the rest of it. They just said, all we got now is $550. We know we owe you $300. My bag. Give us a couple days, or let me call the manager. We'll cut you a check, something like that. So knowing your nodes and knowing your sun and your moon sign is very powerful. Like I told you before, I can't even calculate people's north nodes in the street. But for me, I can just do your rising and your sun, and I go ham. Anybody who's ever seen me in the streets with no paper, no app, no nothing, just freestyling, I go ham with just your rising sign and the sun. But then I can also do some transits because I know where stuff is at, because I study money. So I can just look and see where the money is at in your chart by asking you. If I get your rising sign and your sun sign, I can tell you about the money, like in less than 10 minutes, 15 minutes. It just depends on how cooperative you are in the interview process when I try to get your correct birth time. But once I get the correct birth time, it's game over. Like I've had many people say, this is a reason why I always like to do a reading in private. Don't bring your friend, don't bring your man. Like, do it in private, because I'm gonna see some stuff that I may say that I only want you to hear, and then you can take the recording and go say, listen, friends, this is what I got. Because I may see an abortion, I may see some domestic violence, I may see something that you don't want that you haven't shared with somebody else. And a lot of people, they be like, oh, how did you? And this is why I told you to come by yourself. See what I'm saying? I did a reading one time. I did a reading one time for this person who has a millionaire, right? And the night before, it was just us. It was just me and that person and the person who introduced me to them. And so all three of us knew the power of astrology. So they said, I want a reading. So the next day when I came over, they had two of their Christian, non-astrology believing, just rigid-minded, square-headed friends, and like, I want them to listen in too. And I was like, oh man, I did the reading anyway because you asked for this. And then I told her, and then she says, I don't have anything to hide. But the night before, I knew she had something to hide because it was already in a chart. She'd already said something about the people that were sitting there, but they weren't there. So I could have like really caused a whole bunch of commotion and things like that about what she said about those people because it was coming out the chart. But I couldn't even speak on that because those two people were sitting there. So it limits me. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So to answer your question, if you got the North Node and you know where the sun and the moon is at, you balling. You have a lot of information already. I just tell you to go further though. That means go get the rest of your money. Why would you just leave? That's like if you came and was like, Coach, they owe me $1,000, they only gave me $750. I'd be like, well, you be thankful you got something, but now go back and get your $250. So I'm not gonna tell you to chill and go the rest of your life with just those three things.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, keep it moving. Keep it moving. You young on the path. Everything I'm giving y'all, nobody gave me at y'all's age. You 34 years old, you may turn 35, whatever. Nobody gave me this at 35. I had nowhere near this amount of information at 35. I'm trying to drop mad seeds to have mad bamboo shoots. I'm trying to start a movement. I want it just to be crazy popped off of people saying, I can read my chart. That's why I'm doing these free webinars. So either you're going to get some information here and take something I gave you for free, and you can say, I'm going to go up the ladder a little more, Coach. I saw that you know what you're doing. I want to get with you and work on this right here. That's fine, too. So, you know, that's my thinking on that. Did I answer your question?
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
All right. I appreciate it. Thank you. Alexander says, have you brushed shoulders with any stranger since you met that you felt was a solid pupil to attend your courses like myself? All the time. I meet with people all the time, yo. I'm not the holdup. They are. The teacher's not the holdup. And the teacher doesn't have to succumb to how you want to be taught. That's the other thing. People come to me because my style meets them. What did Tendaji, I think I'm saying it right, she just said, she said, yo, I've been following you ever since, and the way you teach vibes with how I am. Find a teacher that vibes with, you know what I'm saying, let them be themselves. I'm only going to get better and evolve, but I'm not going to switch up because you don't want me to offend somebody. Bruh, sis, whatever, wrong guy. You know, I know some other people who teach astrology, some real good ones. I can point you their way. Because sometimes it may just be a friction between your chart and my chart. And it may not match up good. But have I rubbed shoulders with people who I wish they would come and study with me? You have no idea, bruh. It almost pains my heart when I do run into them and they don't come. Okay? So that's as real as rain right there. I hope I answered your question. My man said I scared the dog doo-doo out of him on the bus. He loved it. Because I met him and I did his chart. This is my man Alexander. We were coming from Florida or something. He was on the bus, and then when we went in and we stopped somewhere and I bought something and then we started chopping it up. Alexander started dropping it on me. He was like, yeah. I was like, oh, somebody I can talk to. So I started dropping it back, which I considered lightweight too. And Alexander was like, oh, you know. And I was like, yeah. I was like, so when's your birthday? And then we started chopping it up. He was like, oh, like that. So I wasn't trying to scare him. I definitely wasn't trying to show off. You know, I was just trying to drop jewels because I like riding the bus because the people I meet, I'm supposed to meet. I'm about to go on a bus trip like soon, real soon. So the people I meet, I'm supposed to meet. Our paths cross. Eve said, how long did it take you to master it? I haven't. I like practicing. I have not mastered it. Some people look at me as a master. I'm a real good teacher. I'm a very, very, very good teacher. I'm very technical. I'm a really good student. But have I mastered something yet? I don't know. I've mastered saying I don't know. I'm quick. I'm working on mastering my levels of honesty so I can tell somebody, yo, I don't know. That's what I work on the most. Essence says, is it wise to use astrology to plan out pregnancies, or should I just let it happen when it happens? Hey, Gabe. Come here. No, no, no. You stay in there because you messing around. Come over with these wires. Yes, it is wise to use astrology to plan pregnancies, conceptions, all of that. All of that. That's a dream of mine. I can't get nobody who want to work with me. They got some stipulations. I got women who want to be so emotionally charged over relationships. They have that more important than the conception date and the birth date of a billionaire. Do you know if somebody just conceptualized last week under this Venus-Jupiter Regulus conjunction, or if somebody just had a baby, what they are sitting on, my God, what was that, last Monday? Yeah, that was last Monday. Accidentally. Like, we're all sitting on a divine birth accidentally. I'm trying to give you the science so you can go back and get what your parents missed. But you picked your birthday. You picked your birthday. So you picked your parents. You picked how you was going to come here. Now, there were some outside influences because you didn't have total free will because you had some karma that you had to pay too. You had a tab that was due. So you had to do something about that too. All right? So there's a lot of things at play right now that I'm not going to venture in too far because I ain't trying to do super, super deep. All right? Next question. My birthday is 10/15/69. Can you tell me a second of my issues? I have been having turmoil and depression. 12/15/69. Do you know what the time was? 12/15/69. I can tell you right now that one of your problems is if you having turmoils about depression, you haven't forgiven yourself or whoever you have a grudge to. Depression and turmoil, that's another thing. A lot of people be like, oh, it's in my chart that I'm depressed and I'm having turmoil. Nah. Are you angry at God? What's your relationship with the Creator? I want to say this. We are at the center of our charts. We're not a slave to our charts. So I can't sit there and be like, you got issues because of your chart. The chart gives you indicators. You are in the middle. You are the chancellor, and the professors work for you. If you don't communicate or know what the professors are doing, it can be hectic. Right? So did that answer your question? Yes, do it on purpose. My facial expressions. Thank you, Crystal, Alexandria. Yeah, so that's Rhoda. That's what I have to say about. Can you tell me a second on my issues? And you're talking about dealing with turmoil and depression. Like, we're not talking anyway. So that conversation is not something that needs to be happening in public. You need to be having a private conversation because you need to go back to the nodes and find out what your spiritual destiny is. You need to find out about your personal poisons and your past karma. You need to let me see. Where's your south node at? Your north node's in Pisces. You worry too much. You don't trust God enough. I'm just reading off her nodes and her moon right now. What's my friend's name? Tendaji. Tendaji, I'm just looking at her north node and her moon right now, and I'm reading her, and she's not embracing her spiritual path. She wants to keep her spiritual path a secret.
Okay.
You want to keep your spiritual path a secret, and you're supposed to trust God more. So if I didn't trust God, I'd be depressed too. That's that on that question. So if I was meant to be born on the 4th but came out on the 5th, what does that mean? You were meant to be born on the 5th. Listen, man, these crazy, I haven't used profanity all this webinar, and I'm not going to right now. But these doctors, these jokers trying to predict, talking about you were supposed to be born on the 4th, but you came out on the 5th. Let me go ahead and quote one of my Muslim brothers. Allah is the best knower. And I'm not even a Muslim. I just love that phrase. That means God is the best knower. You already knew what day you was going to come before you got here, before your mother knew you was pregnant. 3 months before you got here, you already knew what date you was going to be born. The doctor was just trying. That's it, man. Don't get caught up in what somebody told you down here on this earth. If you got here on the 5th, you supposed to be here on the 5th. My mother and them was betting my godmother what date I was going to be born. I was supposed to be on the 16th. My godmother said, no, he could be born the day I was born. Me and her the 17th. Voila. That's that. Coach, how do we find our destiny? It's not a house, it's a position. I look at the North Node. I use the nodes for destinies. But you have to realize you gotta look at, and I'm getting ready to end this because we're going on 3 hours. So you have to look at the balance. So you can't look at your destiny without looking at the opposite of it, which is your past lives. Destiny where I'm headed, past lives where I'm going. You won't understand this until you understand this, and then you got to let go of this because this is so fun and easy. The things you've mastered in a past lifetime are so fun and easy that they will hold you up from your destiny. As long as you are open to staying in the past, all these past incarnations in my past, I was this. I want a past life incarnation. I want a past life reading. For what? You're trying to go here. You came to the planet. What I say at the beginning of the webinar, everybody came here to grow. Now, if you want to get this information in order so you can grow, that's one thing. I'm fine and dandy with that. But if you want to get this information so you can go over here and tell me that you were some kind of famous pharaoh in the 9th dynasty, and that you were some kind of sovereign in the Dogon tribe from the 1800s, and that you used to be Mansa Musa, all I'm going to say is what you're doing now. What you doing now? How are you applying it right now? Then miss me with that. Miss me with that. But when I see a Dr. Mitchell Gibson who says he was Nostradamus, who says he was Pascal Beverly, when he says I was Imhotep, and he proving it every second of every day and moving forward, now I'm listening. But I'm not listening to that. I was this in my past lifetime, and you arguing about it like somebody owe you something for your past album. Beat it. They said my son was coming on the 4th of July, and I said the 18th of June. My son said the 16th. Absolutely. Coach, can you speak on why a person procrastinates, please? Procrastination is Saturn. Look at Saturn in your chart, you know, and you might be comfortable with procrastination because you scared of success. You might be scared of succeeding. You might be scared of winning and procrastinate. You might just be naturally lazy. You might, like me, I have some trines in my chart that keep me from like not busting my butt on everything as I should. But then things come easy to me in some senses. So I understand and I'm working on it. But if you're still procrastinating and you're over 21 years of age, it's because you ain't working on it. I don't even have to look at your chart. Yeah, and I am part psychic. Yeah. Natalie, you asked about the energy of the conjunct. We're not talking about conjunctions today. All righty. Coach is getting ready to get up out of here. I appreciate everybody who stayed all the way until the end. I see Tina and Ricardo. Of course, somebody's always trying to get on like at the end when I'm leaving. If there's anybody in the Bay Area, San Francisco or Oakland, I'll be out there next weekend. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, those 4 days. Want to chop it up, sightsee, do some astrology, build, whatever. Holla. I got my email address, Coach Khayr, hello@Coach Khayr. My website is CoachKhayr.com. If you're interested in moon magic, as I said, I gave you the code KEEP50. So if you're interested in moon magic, that's the link for you to go to the moon magic. If you only want to take Moon Magic for $75, that's it. If you want to go further than that and you want to do the Moon Magic and you want to do the and you want to do a reading, you can keep 50 on that too. Just for you coming and sharing your time with me, I'm saying this is what I want to give back to you. So you got $50 from the coach, but the $50 does not apply on the diamond course. No, you're not getting up. No. I hope you see the value in it. All right, and soon it'll be much more than that, right? So also when you come in on Moon Magic, you grandfather yourself in. So whatever price you come in at, like if you subscribe at $100 a month, you always be at $100 a month. I don't care what price point I raise it to. If I raise the price of the astrology course to $1,000, you always have access to it because you came in at whatever the price point you came in at. So when I do something, it's for life. Now, if you come in and take 1 month for $75, you're not grandfathered in. You got 1 month for $75, the coupon is over. The next month, you either come in and subscribe at $100 or you come back again for $125. It's up to you. I just want to be, I want to make sure my disclaimer is just real simple and plain for everybody. All right. I'm really happy about all the results that everybody gave me, like from the polls. I appreciate everybody for participating, about the recommendations. How long have you been studying astrology? Number one reason you came here. How'd you hear about it so far? And have you learned anything? Yeah, I love it, man. I'm really happy for the people who are, like I said, came on. Thank you so much. And I really look forward to working with anyone who is saying, like, yo, coach, I'm trying to get on. So I'm looking forward to it. Coach, I will put aside a weekend when you are in the A person to kick back with you. One love. Yes, because now if you come out and see, he has a service. I love my grass being done a certain way. So, you know, we can chop it up like that. I got some landscaping for you to do. Coming to New York anytime this year, Essence. I would love to come to New York sometime in the summertime too, because I can't come up there in the wintertime. It's just too cold. And I don't do any more than 72 hours. So if you want to set something up, me coming to New York, that'll be lovely. I don't know. I don't have it in my schedule right now, but it could. You know, I could. I love traveling. And I don't have anything on the schedule. I might just shoot up there one weekend. Who knows? All right, family. It's been love. It's been real. I'm going to talk to y'all. Almost 3 hours. It's right there at 7:59. We're almost at 8 o'clock. Big shouts out, man. I love y'all. Thank you so much. Peace.